As for KRU, as we're getting into the Samsung OLED match start, they're just trying to get their first dub for this stage. So we talked about building blocks on the analyst desk. Now also coming with a new composition on a brand new map. I think it's a great opportunity for them to test out their compositions leading into the play-ins and hopefully getting a good matchup against Sentinels on this first map of Sunset.
Starting off SEN on that attack side. Straight into the A main area, to A main and lobby. And taking a bit of space as everything is prepped. And it looks like KRU is ready to do a retake on that site.
They were very fast for KRU to start this pistol round, though. Instant knife going to get Orb and insta-rotating Sadak on the middle to meet up with two of their teammates. So really focusing on a 1-3-1 defense and also putting heat on a chamber. Remember, this is a new role for him going into the stage, but he is not unfamiliar with this agent.
In topping the scoreboard, and these losses too, gets the first blood and the start of the game here. We are off and running. Harbor wall into sight as it looks like this is going to be a full commit by SEN. Jerwin to create space for the team and hold it quite deep here. They have KRU just on the other side of the wall.
KRU right now just has to hold onto their drop as they're grouping up together. So get the plant down and the first blood comes in here for Redux.
He decides to go aggressive, which means it's going to take a second to reposition. Sent Jonah P protecting that as they are all there to cover each other. And Sentinels grab a pretty easy pistol round.
This is bound to happen for KRU, and I think it's been the story of their stage since stage one coming in together in this 5-man. They'll look good for firepower. Heat's always going to be good in terms of first bloods, getting picks, getting firepower for the team. But when it comes down to getting that synergy to retake Forest as a team, where is it? They tried to pop flash over the site and flood through, but nobody was really affected there for Sentinels. So they all get their own duels. They didn't even need to trade off each other. They score back at a 4 versus 5 and a pistol round on their side, looking quickly to move towards the B main to start.
Down towards mid, some aggression too. You see how much Sadak can just stave this off and keep them at bay. Stingers are going to approach real fast. Jerwin again right on the entry here to follow the Prowler. It's the 1-2 combo and it punches hard for Sentinels to retake B again.
Drop it in the spike just to get it down for Sentinels. Right now for KRU, you're looking for exits. You're looking for making it expensive against Sentinels. And let's focus as well as Jerwin not switching away from the Neon. Keeping the Waylay onto this map. Because remember, the past couple of games that Sentinel has played, he's looked very good, especially on Breeze. With the recent change onto the Neon, putting some huge numbers. But having this Jerwin, tip of the spear, top of the America stage in terms of first blood as well, just under Oxy, because of these type of plays, because he's playing Waylay.
Speaking of Cloud9, he had that ace against them in a 1v4 situation on the Waylay on Summit. So yeah, he definitely feels very good on that pick. So your push for the last few alt orbs, it cleaned up from the shadows coming online pretty fast. As less, he will not be giving up an alt orb just to kill, or just his death rather, to the spike. Another round for Sentinels, and a very clean one too. They only lost one in the first round, none for this flawless second, as we head into the bonus.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about this composition from KRU as well. I think there's a lot of teams that are kind of running this this KO right now in the Americas. I think the biggest thing, though, is we're playing some Fade instead of some Sova to really try to get some combinations around that util in the ult rounds. Which then means to me there's not big opportunities for KRU to go for trap plays at the beginning of the rounds. And you're looking for, you know, the buddy system trying to go for these fights. Sentinels on a bonus though, full Stinger, looking to rush once again into the B main.
Quick Prowler over towards A from KRU. And Sen are going to try to identify again. Prowler, like you said, rinse and repeat. They're not going to check the corners though.
Yeah, on this B site. Simple exec coming in.
In, yes. Right behind Jerwin. This time it's actually a shadow step in as well. A shadow step a little too deep there by Redux.
Not the type of first blood you want to get.
He goes from farming one round to getting crushed by a door the next. Everybody from KRU starting to set up. This is that vertical fight heading into the site. A little bit different than the front to back. And Jonah P is just going to be stuck in there. Last contact for the team. We're seeing Sadak and Dante come around the outside now and instantly wiping out those defenders. The Stingers aren't going to be strong enough. And KRU will get the defuse on this.
It's nice to have Omens in your comps as well to do that TP on the top of the B nest. But unfortunately, the timing was a little bit off.
Yeah.
And Redux, who was vibing earlier on, free eco kills for him, but this time couldn't get more kills in the bonus round for Sentinels.
How could you have done this?
Okay. It never happened. It never happened.
It's on tape. The VOD's there. The VOD's there. It's too late, Jerwin. But at least they have the a couple of plans that we had for the last couple of rounds here for Sentinels. All 3 so far in this first half. So they will be having plenty of money moving into their attack round in round number 4. Full rifles across the board too for all 10 players, and it's a default round, focusing a lot on the middle side for Sentinels here. And Dante's already low on HP, has no choice but to close the door and fall back here to support somewhere else.
One of the first times we see SEN adventure over towards Ben, take a bit more of that mid space, and we see the smoke coming through for Redux here to make this possible for Jerwin. I feel like wherever he's going, you're actually going to get a pretty decent dash on. He actually refract runs out though, so he might be committed here for a moment.
We're playing a lot of inserts though. We still have one over here and over here for the Sentinels, so this Prowler is just going to try to create a diversion to pull some rotates. Especially now with Cortesia dying in the front of that B main. That might force now Sentinels to continue to force the rotate over and see if the 2 guys on the right side of the site of this map over on A could get some picks.
That trademark covering the same position your Cypher camera would if this is what you're playing. And they're going to realize that push down arches mid means the map is pretty covered. Back anchored into B for KRU now. The
comms are a little bit off because it did their job to break that trademark, but Jerwin gave up the full space that he's taken overall, where Superman loves playing that. Got so many multi-kills on this map. Thankfully, though, there was no re-aggression from KRU, so this still gives an opening for SEN to go for the split into the A site.
Always Jerwin first. Right behind that haunt was disgusting to reveal the team, and they just clean it up. 1, 2, 3. It looks picture perfect for Sentinels on these takes right now as they read the map thoroughly to make sure KRU have no chance. Only Heat rotating back over. And he's not going to be able to do much as it looks like he saves the Vandal. Another round for SEN as they take it right back.
Really nice exec. The end of the day, though, what was really going on for KRU, whose responsibility is it to try to break the haunts? Because for the side here for Sentinels, there's not really big utility to combine to really get the biggest value out of the haunts unless there's a nice time paranoia by Redux. But it really felt here that KRU should have been in a good spot to have somebody play the break the haunt, because that pinged 2 players inside the A site, and that allowed for Jerwin to get such a big opening and a very important ult moving into the next round. They have 2 ults that they could cycle in to continue to chime in some rounds for the side of Sentinels.
Man. You saw on the map there too, everyone from KRU was in a position to protect each other for that. All the X's are just surrounding the back of that site, and still they just don't have the angles because of the way this is taken. Look at that.
And I just saw it from a replay there. That paranoia right there coming in from the A main from Jerwin, so they did have that combo.
It's okay. We 1 sacrifice per round, Loki. You got me good. If you guys win every time, just call me.
The layers do seem to be there for SEN.
Bring them down.
The vibes are good here, knowing how this matchup is still very important for Sentinels to try to qualify into the playoffs. What's at stake here is they need this W against KRU. And then you also need Loud to defeat 100 Thieves tomorrow, so they could secure a spot in the playoffs and skip the play-ins.
No charges.
KRU got proactive on this round, which leaves the site open. KRU was over towards mid as SEN now take A. They're going to be able to set up a very nice post plant, but this is one of the times we're going to get that 5v5 now that KRU has everything to put into A.
I mean, they're just set up right now to, exactly, to fight towards the K for Sentinels.
Wow, Nightfall comes out to delay. Spike is already ticking down. The pressure is on as we look through the eyes of Redux. Jonah P gets the spam to start. Redux still waiting for that orb of smoke to have its line broken by a body. There's one, and the second one is actually a trade. KRU make it a little bit further into the site now. Jonah P looking to hold it off, and you just see the cooperation between the 2 members of Sentinels right over each other's shoulder here to create such a difficult situation for retake. That spike's already so low. The pressure's on, and the kills are coming through thick for SEN. It's going to be another round as Heat again, the last one alive to be buried by Cortesia.
So difficult for KRU to retake that A site, especially with the first person dying in the fights from a spam is Sadak. You needed to try to play those spot flashes to try to come through And I think the idea is very similar to how Sentinels executed towards the A site, is to have the KO flash with the Haunt, ping some players out and flood out through there. But just an unlucky timing for KRU. But it pays dividends for the side of Sentinels when the Professor here could just lock down the A site. And instantly we get a timeout from KRU because we're trying a new map, we're trying a new comp here, but unfortunately what we're practicing so far isn't coming to fruition for the side of KRU.
Yeah, for that one, the push mid was really punished by just SEN going to site, and I don't think KRU has solved the site exact just yet, so it's really hard for them to really have a play they can call audible on or do anything but try to read SEN to start.
So let's focus on Heat as well here, switching to this role as the Chamber. This is a role that he's played already at the VCT stage with Furia last year. They haven't had the best of results, of course, because they didn't win a single stage, but at least you're playing to the comforts of the players for this roster of KRU. There's just so many different things that are stemming that is not working out for KRU, but as RKT mentioned, he's a very good offer. So if he's not going to be able to play the Jet double dive here with Dante, put him on a Senti, put less on the controller. I think it works out to try this out in an official matchup to see if it can really work out for KRU in the long run once they make it into play-in. So the test is there. Heat now has a tool de force that he can utilize with the ult. And he's looking to take the mid control down this line to start.
Let's see if SEN can keep it up. One of the things that looms over them right now is the fact that they start so fast in these first maps and then lose control. They're starting to gain control of B main right now as they get around that smoke and push out the defense. Coming down to the scope game, though, might be the first kill on this. I don't think Cortezia is going to get a full peek on. He plays his life. He's going to stay, though. He really thinks he's going to get a line on ramp here with the last few rounds being pushed by SEN in this area.
They are gambling a lot, though. It's been very quiet for KRU when Heat's been watching down this middle line. So KRU will gamble stack towards this B site, which gives me a chance here to just correct myself. We're looking for also a 100 Thieves win against Loud, so that SEN could qualify into the playoffs if SEN wins this against KRU today. Here's the exit, though, from Sentinels into the B site.
It's going to be a lower buy, but it's the first time KRU is in position to make this happen, and they're still being ripped apart from inside. A nice trade there by MW0, but too little too late as the tour de force is online for the lower by round 2.
Spike planted.
And that's always going to be a nuisance. You're trying to get an op line, but everything gets covered up by a high tide thrown by John Cutie. I like the reaction and the attempt that what KRU is trying to do is to throw the KO knife so that he could actually flood in. There's not enough util for SEN to follow up behind the high tide. But you already had a dash in. Most of the players from KRU were behind the high tide itself, so they couldn't really react here into the dive from Jerwin. He's just looking for some damage, but Sentinel's really not giving him anything at all, and now SEN, they get 5 in this first half already.
And they keep it so varied, or I should say Jerwin keeps it so varied. He's dashing into a different spot here, there. You're thinking we can set up something, and then he's on the other side of the site, and it was just the wrong call. It really is hard to read what SEN is doing right now.
And the pressure in the line you're trying to take for KRU so far is putting that responsibility again on Heat to at least lock down a lane. But it's hard for them right now to really try to react on the space and the information that they get early. This time around, though, about to fight towards this B main. Sentinel's looking to push forward here. Let's see how they exit towards this B site.
I can
He's
take this
trying to break the code.
He picked up his CP. He's gonna move.
Yeah.
Can we leave Whaley here? Whaley hold here, and let's come. Just run.
Heard. Omen is main.
We're gonna push this Fate Omen off A, and then we go
push
back
him off
B.
already.
Heard.
Could have faked TP, but
B.
he TP. Yeah. Yassine, start leading B when we get there.
He's locking for fun again.
I'm gonna give you
Just give him bomb, yeah.
Yeah, you want me to smoke for you guys, main or no?
I will smoke.
Spike.
Okay, heard. It was Omen and Fade there, by the way.
Yeah.
You ready, Amin?
Yeah,
Fade has one dog.
I have them in the line.
They have KO knife up in 10. Are we B splitting? Grab the orb. You want to do a little fake here?
No.
Okay.
Just come back.
They have
We'll
KO,
just come back.
knife up soon. What's the call?
Can you smoke Ben now? Smoke Ben.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're just gonna go harbor ult B.
Heard. Okay, heard.
I'm gonna try to get my util. He's gonna have a knife soon.
I'm dodging. He has it. I'm dodging KO knife. We dodge KO knife.
Perfect.
KO's B.
He might walk up on the line.
Just hold. I'm off you. Just hold. Don't peek, Jerwin. Just hold. Don't peek, Jerwin. I'm off you.
Let's go, boys.
Guys, we need to pop like the KO.
Yeah, they
Okay.
smoke B main.
I'm gonna ult first and
Yeah.
go.
Okay, heard it. He has
30
nade.
seconds
Let's
left.
go, let's go.
I'm doing 3, 2, 1.
Blinding left, blinding left.
Close, close, close. Nice.
That's it. They're gonna flood, they're gonna flood.
Okay.
Flood.
Yeah, dead.
I'm walking 3, 2, 1. Let's go together. 3, 2, 1, go.
Finish the body. Finish the body.
Yeah. Break heaven, break heaven. I have flank, I have flank.
Smoking.
Don't plant.
Hold me, I'm planning.
I'm molding.
It's a bad plan, okay?
Okay.
Locker.
10 seconds left.
They have Fade Eye and Neon Stun for retake.
I have dark front lock.
Yeah, heard. Fade is CT. 2
Two.
CT.
I'm surging.
Locker smoking, chill. Could be locker.
Blind, nice.
Locker dead.
I'm molding.
Okay, locker.
I'm lock. No. I turn you.
I have
Yeah,
right sided, don't be exposed.
Careful, locker. You can see it from there. You need to face locker.
80. Chamber. Okay, both. I'm walking around.
One my left side. Can you
He has you.
hold it?
One enemy remains.
Just talk.
Talk. Play once.
I'm blinding.
Nice!
Clean.
From the macro to the micro continues to be excellent here for Sentinels, and they mentioned, I mean, Dendrite had the conversation with John Q before going to this game, being a masterclass caller for Sentinels and finding the right groove on the attack side. Look at what and how he was microing the team around. Finding all the timings, knowing exactly when the KO knife is coming back up here from Sadak, and telling the team to avoid it so they could re-hit towards this B site. And KRU seemed like they were never ready for that one until finally a 3 versus 4 kind of worked out in favor of KRU until Cortezia says, I still have a flash for you on a 2 versus 1. Let me flash. They swing to get the pick. Just beautiful stuff here from Sentinels. KRU still on the uphill, trying to climb back in this matchup, but still having the same look. The pushback from Heat at the front of this B line, and he could focus on a triple stack.
I think that's got to be the answer proactivity here for KRU. Get a few more forward angles to make sure they at least have an idea of what's going on. And yeah, Heat's not going to stop with that pressing forward until he finds that wall. So he's going to actually mess with the util, which makes SEN actually worry about that side. Can they get the extremities to work, though? This is the first time KRU's really closing in on SEN as they try to find an answer up ramp. 1 kill coming in for Redux. Don't tell me he gets both here. Oh my god, he gets both! It's Sadak doing what he can to stop the middle of the map push by Sentinels now as they work on multiple fronts. Les, a very good 1v1 there onto John QT to slow things down. A 3v3 reset as the dust settles.
Tried to go for a little bit of action in map space for KRU. I love that. That's been a change of plans since the timeout here from Zonic, Coach Zonic of KRU. But at the same time, the instant of Redux is going to cause some damage.
So far. You wouldn't expect it. I mean, Summit's still early enough, too, that you're wondering about what timings can be taken around this map. Honestly.
It's a little preemptive there, though, from Cortezia. Without getting any contact, goes straight into the ult just to try to delay as much as he can. I mean, he still has the Razor Vines. The flash is back up for Garden. This is a great stall from Sentinels at the end of the day.
The smoke helps them to get in, but it also gives Sentinels an anchor smoke here to the right. So it's just really tough decision to get the right play in the flash, though, from Cortezia. Again, there for the end of the round to help SEN pack it up.
Too easy there. That was just basically Jonah P dangling the carrot.
Yeah.
Just under a box, forcing the shot to come out, thinking KRU that they could wallbang him. And that allows Cortezia to pull the flash, to go for a triple swing, and now Redux gets a quad kill thanks to that.
Oh, my ace,
Beautiful work from Redux at the beginning of the round to the end there for Sentinels.
And a timeout for KRU. Is that scoreline 7-1, staring them straight in the face, and they're wondering, what is the answer? We're pushing down on the extremities. We're trying to get those early fights, and the mid-round continues to be Sentinels.
It's not looking good here for KRU, unfortunately. So despite them wanting to be a little bit more proactive around the map, it's still missing a little bit of that micro so they could fight together and take down Redux, for example, who is currently looking amazing in its first half, 14-3 so far.
3.
Just having a good time. I mean, 3 of them were, of course, mowing down some players with the stinger at the exit at that second round, but overall, he's been doing an excellent job just solo working the A side. So the defaulting with the tremendous firepower that we currently see from Sentinels and not missing a beat, not missing a shot, really allows for John Cutie to call another masterclass on the attack so far. We need more now for KRU.
Way more. a moment where they can string some ults together here, work off the Nightfall retake. It might not be on this round, but the timeout really for that next buy.
Like I said, the difficult portion is they can't go for any trap plays at the beginning of the barriers with a Nightfall available or anything like that, unless they want to go with the overdrive maybe into the next round. It would be kind of good just to test it out. When Sentinels are sort of having some openings on the B side, not all the time, but most of their openings here in the default has been leaning towards B.
Back to the first few rounds we saw from SEN. They're kind of resetting the playbook. This Prowler towards B main, cover towards the right side of the map, towards A, and Sentinels make sure they push Heat off that line that was giving them prior information.
You're always going to see these three just working as a pack. Jonah P, Jerwin, and also John Cutie. Because Cortezia is going to play around his wall, so he activates and holds down one extremity on the B side, and then Redux does his job over on A. So crew at the minute mark have to understand this a little bit more, that there is more pivots from Sentinels towards middle. They have bodies there, at least to fight towards the A link. And that knife is going to spot a lot.
Connected to, knife in, trying to squeeze around the relay bolts. Nobody's really pushing for the fight just yet, but they are within arm's reach, so it's crazy that nobody's died. There it is. Less with the first shot. That was over actually at A main, as we still have the fight here. An elbow. Dante very low. They keep swinging for more. Jerwin is hoping to make some space for the team, but they're stuck in this choke point fight right now, and it's going to be KRU trading it out one after the other with numbers advantage. They grab their second round.
It was thanks to a big pick by Les in the first place that allows here for Heat to push forward, get through the wall, and from the Nightfall even go for the flank. They'll never expect it, never hear it. And that pick was huge. At the end of the day, though, you saw that Cortezia finally had the sixth sense, looked behind from the wall that gets blocked up, takes down Heat, but it was just too late for him to communicate with the rest of the Sentinels to say they could cut noise, they could stop and not force the fight into the A-Link, where all of KRU is already rotated across from. But instead, they walk into the meat grinder, and KRU are finally able to manage to score a second round in this first half. Sentinels trying to change the tempo with a fast exit towards the A site.
Very quick. Right into Rocky. Les with the first kill again, 2 rounds in a row. We'll see how it impacts the movement of KRU as they get back in. Jerwin still trying to push way forward towards Cave. And they're going to have a nice little contact protection on this trade if they can get through the smoke. No, Dante's protected as he moves in. Slowly going forward. It's still Dante now. He's going to try to dash and make more space for the team. A nice little jiggle there to get a kill as he finds one more for Sadak to answer. This is changed just in a few rounds here from KRU, and for the good as they pick up their third round.
Very nice there by Dante. And that's also thanks to having a little bit of a util to help him out. That Prowler clearing out a player so he could actually slide and not slide in the open where he keeps himself exposed. So the movement being very good for the duelist of KRU. And then utilizing the skills of the Neon, just a jump spot, find information. Just good stuff for him to stay very calm in the chaos and allowing here now KRU to get the third round of this half. 2 rounds in a row for them. They needed some room to breathe. They had to burn 2 timeouts to get these 3 rounds so far.
Les stepping up those rounds for what we know him for. Winning the 1v1s, really making the impact frags count.
Yeah.
See, wow. Nice dart or a knife to start out. Figured out what's going on, but did they know about the push? Dante with just a sidestep kill on Cortezia. Very fluid as they insert Heat towards mid and reset for the round.
KRU is currently fast rotating towards that B site because they heard the orb getting tapped and they saw that Jurin has the convergence pass. And he's been very good so far at opening 4 Sentinels with the double dash that he has. So KRU focuses on the B lean. He also has some great mid control by the position of Heat with the op overlooking this line right where the Omen's about to walk into here for Redux.
They might, I was going to say Redux starts pulling back. And he's just going to play noise in this area too. Bit of a smoke thrown over by Les to cover on A as the team starts to rotate and get into position. Doing a very good job of making this feel weird for Sentinels. The moment SEN slowed down in their game versus C9 a long time ago is when it became a problem. So we got to speed up right here. They pull the trigger into A site. Les just on the other side of the wall as the cat and mouse game starts here. And the spike plants going down, but they still don't know where KRU is going to come from.
This is perfect for Sentinels. I think they're in a very good spot here to hold the pole spot despite being a 4 versus 5.
Redux trying to push in. Can the team make any noise inside the site to make this look even better? Crashing in KRU from Cave here as we're watching Les now back and forth. Sadak gets the first kill on this. Trying to source out the members as Sentinels, but they can't even find where KRU is coming from until they go down, and Les is going to be the one to get the last frag. They scatter Sen to the wind as they retake once again. Where did this crew come from the first few rounds to now?
They got lucky, though, because like I said, Sentinels were in a prime position to win the round. They took the right orb control. They utilized the big ults to take site control and also delay, which allowed Redux to start moving forward and try to get the backstab. But he goes into the cove right over here with Les. Literally ships in the night through the water of the cove. And then as soon as it dissipates, look at the value Les gets. The pick up to Jonah P, who was going for another multi-kill. And that could have been a different story should Redux find that little timing a split second earlier. But KRU's back in the fight. 4-7, one more round here to bring the momentum for the second half. This time also playing double ops. They have the money to work with, so go for that line to pick at the beginning.
Dante's been itching to get his eye down that scope, it seems. He's trying to play that same pick he got from last round. Sentinels already moved up mid for the moment, but they have not committed the spike yet. That's the big point. I think this is just to play the ruse with whatever Jerwin can make happen. Look how much confidence and kind of agency they give him to go ahead and insert here to mid to be a single attack from the outside of the site as they hit front B. Oh, Dante's been patient, and he is rewarded for it. The relay bolt to defend, and now Jerwin still has to clear quite a bit of room. And it doesn't look like it's going to be done safely. A commit from Sen still over to the site. Jerwin finds that kill on the route. They haven't found any more crew members, though. Standing tall inside site, Les gets one. They still have a position to play contact off each other here, making it very difficult. No way, he pulls it! Redux gets the shadow step and becomes the shadow of KRU. Now they are thrown for a loop. MW Zera ultimately waiting for heat so they can try and formulate a plan that could work against this chaos. 17-6 is John Cutie. Sets it drop. Able to clean up the shot there, and Redux gets a third one on the round to end the first half. 8-4 and stop the bleeding a bit.
Redux has been having one hell of a game. And what a nice TP to break enemy lines and to sweep up 2 kills on top of that when the first blood once again was scored by KRU at the beginning. Bad mistake on a rotation there from Sadak. They even pinged that there was potentially somebody on top middle, yet he still gets picked. Sentinels finally saw the blading here for KRU and still have a convincing lead going into the second half.
Swapping sides, and we come back from Summit. We'll be back with more VCT Americas after this.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. It all started when I got to the FIFA World Cup, and wow, thousands of Verizon customers.
Oh, you got the free Verizon tickets too?
No, I'm with amazing seats.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And even pitch side access.
Are you? David Beckham.
A Verizon customer.
This used to be for players. Now it's for Verizon customers. No one gets you closer. Only on Verizon.
As always, there's a lot of fans at the Riot Games Arena supporting Sentinels, but the question is, why is Sentinels making playoffs?
I would say they're making playoffs because, you know, Redux, for one, obviously go player. But I would say them playing together as a team, mainly just figuring out their tiny mistakes that they make all the time. And I feel like if they get that together, they make the spot.
Jerwin's in form, Redux is in form, John Cutie's the best IGO in the world. Everyone's insane. They've been picking it up ever since kickoff stage 1, stage 2. They're looking the best they've ever been. They're really locking in and they're just looking really good. They're going to prove themselves to everyone.
They have really good synergy right now. Honestly, their new team, I'm really rooting for them. They have a lot of synergy, a lot of potential, and I really see them working with it and making playoffs and hopefully champions.
Because I think they're cooler than other teams.
And it's cool to think things are cool. So props. 8-4 here as we get back into the game. VCT Americas back on your screen. The Sentinels lost a few rounds there at the end. The 8-4 really doesn't tell the story of the first half with the momentum. KRU started to come back, but it still has Sentinels at a 4-round lead, and they are very close to being able to close out this first map.
KRU looking to start over on the B side, and I'm liking what Redux is trying to do here. Outside of the range of a KO knife, but also trying to instantly throw a smoke. He was trying to do it towards that choke to maybe force KRU to use a little bit more utility at the beginning, but this time decides to hold it back. KRU instead now looking to pivot on the top of middle, where there's really only Cortezia watching the line.
Woo, that was quick. The shift all day strat from KRU here. Not making any noise until it has to be a shot, until they make contact, and they're gonna pressure this. Calling for the high tide from the defensive side, and Sentinels throw that across. And that's nice to know KRU is actually aggressing enough to make Sentinels worry about it. Looks like they are gonna NB on this though.
They hurt the wall. Unfortunately, the smoke dissipated, so you can't really bait the wall for KRU. This is going to make it difficult for them on the attack side to go for the full exit here.
Catches 3 in sight. Nice paranoia to delay. They're kind of running out this suppression that they just used. The flash goes through, almost hiding Redux in the corner. Good trade from Dante as he gets sat down, but John Cutie's in a bad spot and cannot stay alive as he is gunned down by less than Sadak. Quick plant in the good spot, and should be able to defend this one. Jerwin and Jonah P coming in with the ghosts, though.
Two of them are very low for KRU.
Eyes off to the right. Has to have his head on a swivel as he comes in here. God, Les is so quick with it. And it looks all impossible for Jerwin. It is MW0 with the final shot there. And a round for KRU, a much-needed pistol round.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Sentinel's side that when we talked about the wall was very good to stall in the first place. The knife from Sadak actually fully hits the 3 players on the B site and deactivates the util up on the B entrance. Thankfully, at least it was some razor vines that slowed it down for a bit. But then right after that, look how potent that flash was from the side of Sadak and the rest of the team flooding behind that.
Yep.
There was really no way here for Sentinels to really set up that triple stack into the B site. Speaking of stacks, nothing happening for Sentinels. Just playing a 2-1-2, picking up some orbs, being very quick just like KRU were in their own pistol run on defense, getting that orb up ASAP for Jerwin and controlling that B line. And for him to continue to push forward like this, it might give a good indication of where KRU likes to place the trademark if he wants to jiggle a little bit more. And that will allow here for John Cutie to call some different setups on the defensive side potentially here.
Sadak grabbing that orb for himself, trying to get the null command back online. Jerwin being annoying on the other side, destroying a bit of util, but it still looks like KRU has no worry with heat halfway across being that cutoff.
A little bit of the same thing as pistol. Wait for the high tide to go down, hit into the site.
Smart move.
Ooh, very clean. And yeah, this is power in numbers. Even if you're blind, keep running forward and swarm the enemy as KRU efficiently take that A site and should just be able to last this one out. Heat looking for a few more alt points so he can get that tour de force online.
One enemy remaining.
And that is a successful checkbot. Oh, very nicely done. And just over the shoulder flash to come in there for him. Like the combo.
It's a flawless one as well for KRU. We talked about it, some great pips being picked up on the attack side and how they're manipulating the map on an anti-eco. Didn't get caught or flustered by any of the combination attempts from SEN. They were trying to double flash, fight into the garden. But instantly, as Dante gets the first blood onto Jonah P, nothing there that Sentinels could really do to hold the line from the piss around to the stack of the eco. Now though, money is right. Very similar setup as they had on the piss around on the B side at least. Is Sentinels with Redux playing behind the wall.
Oh, the elevation. Heat catches him off guard. And they're going to move very fast already to the back site. Dante's trying to create space. Cortezia will take this upon himself to start the fight from Sen's retake. And he'll actually already have John QT here as well, so why not stay? Nice little crossfire to play contact on as well.
You could plant in front of this high tide, though, and that's probably what we're going to try to do for KRU. Actually, the big flash comes across. Pulls them back once again, so KRU resetting and looking to rotate all the way back to the A site.
Bit of that macro. See who can make it first. Everybody's lacing up their shoes and trying to go coast to coast as fast as possible right now. Les doing a great job to kind of separate that gap, close the door, and give the team a little bit more time here with the plant.
Cortez on the rotate has picked up his Rose Bloom, so maybe they'll try to do some sort of combination when the Haunt is also available for Jonah P, because the spike was freshly planted, but Sentinels is already here at the cave.
They can throw Cove up on the right to get in. Boom. Comes out from John QT, so they have a little focus just ahead, but hopefully not to tunnel vision on this. Sadak low as he gains that health back. He's still going to swing! The unexpected swing still seized. A big fight here for Heat. Cortezia gets the best of him. It's tried less to repair it, but what in the hell was that from Cortezia to instantly sit down? Another, and he gets the spam just to draw him to Buzera's attention perfectly for the kill and the defuse. Rightfully so, King. Stand up. Sentinels get that 9-6 now.
For him to do that solo on a retake was very nice, because most of the utils for Sentinels that was used for the retake on the A site was just for themselves, just to fight into the cave on the outside. So Cortezia had to play the lurk roll, had to play an important duel against Heat. We got a nice opener against Redux at the beginning.
Nice, good shit.
W retake, bro. Should I just...
W retake, for sure. Recognized all around the board.
This is where it hurts as well for Coach Zowie. He can't call any timeouts for the team.
Yeah.
That was a momentum shift when they should have converted that bonus round at the beginning for KRU.
He was wishing that was the button, not his desk. Pop flash, elbow. They're not going to be able to get anything but space. Peek out. Gets Jerwin being a little antsy, but still, KRU has already lost 2 on this round. So Sentinels can play the safe game.
Just a huge brawl from both teams.
Yeah.
The first one being spammed through the smoke. That's Sadak falling from a spray. And just because of that, KRU was forced to make a play and hoping that the trades come back in their favor. And unfortunately, they're back at a player deficit. Thankfully, though, they still have smokes up, but very difficult for them to focus on the B line because of this vice wall from Cortezia. So it's up to Heat to try to find the opener with this off.
Oh, that smoke formed as they were coming around the corner. It was such a thorough re-clear by Sentinels throughout their spawn, making sure that nothing sneaky was possible by KRU. And man, Jonah P pushed up on that angle so early. They didn't have to worry about A main. And now where does Les go? Just saving his gun to see if he can do some damage. They're starting to put up a good fight. It did seem like that timeout counted when they were able to get Zonic in their ear, but it's up to the team now and having to adjust mid-round, which seems like Sentinels has been faster at.
The idea was right to try to get that smoke on the top of the A-link so that he could try to move in and maybe go for a pick inside the garden. But it definitely feels like the players from Sentinels peeked out before the smoke bloomed. It was an easy kill to spray through the smoke after all. And Les will only pick up an extra 1,000 credits by saving this weapon into the next round. And the money is not looking too hot right now for KRU. I thought it was a spray through the smoke too, but you saw the elevation out from Redux. Use that smoke as a one-way to get that first blood there onto Sadak. That was nice. Putting Sentinels at double digits. Dropping 20 already is Redux in 16 rounds.
Crazy. But we got to take away the eco ones, right? Yeah, he's done quite a bit. Impact frags and more. Looks like KRU testing A main for a bit of orb control. See if they go across the map. He has been trying to farm those up as much as possible. We even saw a push on the pistol round to get more. So this, a lot of priority is put into this round.
Yeah, I'd like to see KRU maybe try to force a lot of these smokes early so that Sentinels, when it comes down to the refreshes, yes, you're playing with the Harbor, but burn those out from the Omen. Give a chance, give a lane here for the Total Force from Heat to get some value at the entrance of Garden. As we're currently looking at right now, no smokes being thrown down.
Redux, his attention is drawn. What a reckoning. Stops all of KRU in Bend. I mean, that isn't heat on that A main line. And now 45 seconds to have to call the audible. What is this? We were just asking for this. Is KRU adapting in the mid-round and now facing the ult from John Cutie. They are splitting back and forth to try and run SEN ragged. And it looks like they've gained the soft site now. Great macro from KRU. They have to finish it though. They can't be timid on their own strategy. Straight to the site. Heat starts off, rings out on Cortezia for finally the first blood in the round, a minute and 20 seconds in. Redux is still trying to hide and duck all the shots as we reset with the bomb timer. How can KRU thin out the site now? They're all pretty much in the same spot, and this could get trouble when you can't guard each other. Redux for the first shot. Cave is somewhat of an entry, but they're still waiting for Jerwin and the team to get in with this op to maybe get online. They are really pushing the timer down as Jonah P gets the first kill there onto KRU. And still, they seem to be having trouble getting in. Dash in, you heard Jerwin go, and Redux is able to get a kill as well. Heat's doing his damnedest, but Sentinels somehow uproot KRU at the last moment, and they do get into the site for the defuse.
Terrible post-plant positioning from KRU. They did such an excellent job to thin out. You talked about it, a back and forth that they had on middle. They thinned out the defense. There was only 2 players, and it's respectable. Sentinels had to play the long-range battles. They had an opportunity to do so because they were playing against an anti-eco.
We're dissecting them.
And then right after that, exactly that. They dissected by taking down Sadak. Backstabbed by Jonah P on a rotate of the A-Link because nobody was watching the angle from the connector. And just like that, they start falling down one by one. And that was the first piece, the lack of communication for the side of KRU in the post-plant. And now Sentinels puts himself at 11. The economy's back at least for the side of KRU with the plant, with the eco that they had. So he could still work with an operator this round.
The economy is there for KRU, and they need to show us why this is the map that they picked here. SEN so close to putting that game point pressure on. And we have seen KRU almost second guess their own strategies as they go from site to site, even once they pull off the great ruse. Working the spike towards A this time. And it looks like they will commit to this as they allow SEN to use a bit of that util. Null command, gain some space. Which sides are they going to pressure? They're still somewhat looking for the fight. It's actually Sadak's going to go alone on this now. The protection goes away as they're looking for somebody to rotate. And Sentinels pick up that kill. Les answers back. They can't pick up Sadak though here as the spike gets planted. The space has been made, so ultimately the strat works. But this is where they fall to Sentinels each time.
Should be trading ults here for the fight back in the garden.
There it is. Traded left and right. It's going to be a nightmare for somebody, and John QT gets in the heads of KRU right away. Cortezia, what a spam onto Heat. He doesn't take the shot. It was indecisive. MW0 is the last line of defense for everybody coming in from the elbow. And it is just going to be KRU again getting pushed out, just like John QT said, dissected in each one of these situations. And there he is, the man himself, to get the kill on Les and the defuse to come through for Sentinels.
Just so good from Sentinels. You saw how far back they played their defensive lines of that round because Jerwin pulls out the operator for the first time. He's watching it towards the B. And then also Cortezia stays fully tucked in the back of the cave of the A site so he doesn't get affected by the radius of the KO ult, which then means the wall stays up. So when you're trying to split for KRU into the garden to take mid control, the wall comes up, Dante's alone on garden, you wasted a time of the KO ult, and then again, just a beautiful retake by Sentinels, just spamming players off from KRU when they're not playing off each other for trades one more time. Now it might be the last line for the attack. I mean, you're going to have to throw all your eggs into this basket. They have 2 ults to work with for an explosive hit into A. That knife is huge, though.
Death ball for it all here. KRU, everyone into A on the back of Dante. Overdrive is going to be there when they need it to flex the muscles and keep SEN out of the site. The Steel Garden going to be very big for this retake. Oh, they're going to push even more. Heavy protection on Cave. Ooh, that stings. But also, Overdrive, what a delay.
You heard the ult in the back of spawn, though, from Les. He's going to have to start encroaching very quickly.
Steel Garden Harbor Wall goes out, Paranoia to one side, so you know SEN get the first quadrant of movement that they need. KRU's doing a great job of keeping themselves alive. Dante was so blind he didn't know where to stand for a moment, and they continue to push in. This is what KRU has to deal with.
They're defusing.
It's almost done. They don't even know to get back in, and everybody's just protecting the VIP. Sentinels take Summit away from KRU, 13-6.
Love the last little look of Sentinels as well. KRU trying to play outside of the site into the garden so they can at least hold all the angles on the retake. What did they do for Sentinels? They just sliced the site with the high tide. They cove into that. The Paranoia at that line and hoping that Heat could be the one that's going to be the answer for KRU to play that double duelist. It doesn't work out in their favor, but I digress. I wanted to continue to talk a little bit more, but now we have a chance to already go into the pistol round. A TP back now from Heat, and that's just spotted by the Prowler, and this time the Haunt from Jonah P. Another instant shot, so Sentinels might have an inkling here that KRU are trying to move quickly into this A site.
They say walk through my damage if you want to get in. Redux puts up a nice wall. KRU's not going to worry too much except for that spike, and it's good delay. This already Sentinels is starting to come around through tiles. A push towards that gate though. MW Zera and Dante want to get a bit more aggression on. A third player now comes as they look to force a fight here in the back of Sentinel spawn. Maybe a fight on multiple fronts as it comes through. Cleaned up though. KRU able to get a little space and breathing room out of that. Heat drawing attention as he gets taken down by Cortezia, and Sentinels again start to dissect, moving ever so slowly, and all the pressure now is on KRU. They are answering, and they have succeeded. Holy moly, KRU. Pull that one out of nowhere.
Yeah. It was basically the demolishing KRU on the sprays through the cyber cages as soon as it came up there for Sentinels. The idea was right, get that cage up, tap, and then you figure out where the shots are coming from, you slide out through that. But look at how instantly those kills came through. Just that crossfire set up from so many different angles. And it's timed out in the open as well. A great start for KRU in this pistol round.
Space take confidence here from Les. Maybe we do go back to the lurking position, huh? He's actually got Heat right behind him, so it does look like that's teamwork to get the insert. Wow, Sentinels just with a classic looking to make a little bit of a play here and give KRU a tough time they have to respect.
It was also quite nice for KRU to prevent Sentinels from moving forward and trying to grab that orb for Redux. As one of the game plans quite prominent for the side of 100 Thieves is to try to get that ult up as soon as possible in Asinine. You definitely see it at the beginning, that two players in the front there trying to take that space if KRU wasn't going to add a little bit of pressure. They will go for the second wave pump, trying to force to see if Sentinels are going to play some util. And the more that you close the gap, the more that there's a chance for KRU to win the round because they have better weapons into the B main to start.
Sherwin destroyed the trademark, so he starts to back up, but that trademark planted by Heat, who is all the way in spawn now. They kind of suspect that timing, looking back and forth, and yeah, right at the last moment, Cortezia almost has a chance for it, but Heat a little bit quicker, and just drawing his opponent with bullets. Les is able to take down Jonah P. KRU realize they have the advantage here, but have to act quick, and Heat's going to be able to slow it down.
One enemy remaining.
Quick kill there. And a nice job by KRU to play these ones confident, not think that Sentinels is going to have something overpowered, and again, temper their own strategy. KRU go straight into the site.
If anything, the SEN bundle unfortunately deceived everybody but John Cutie. Look at the amount of HP remaining for everybody else. All the right clicks, got a headshot, got some body shots, but not the full 130, so they could go for the left click classic to get the kills right after for Sentinels. 3 of KRU make it out alive by the skin of their teeth. Look at this. The right click is down to sub 50.
Oof.
But because Heat has an outlaw, could instantly drop his opponent. So there's not too much damage that Sentinels were able to do in that second round, which allows KRU to still have a very healthy bonus round here. Back into the A lane, leveraging Heat as his chamber one more time to take that forward line.
If they get this bonus, they trigger the nightmare for Sentinels of that second map slump. Even Ewok said it in the coach interview between maps. Heat looking to put that spice on right away with a solo peek over here towards the right side, coverage behind them from Sadak. So yeah, they have a lot planned for this round to see if they can get the first kill. Another peek. Oh, he gives himself up. The flash goes over top though, the pop flash from Sadak. It's so big on the protocol. Now they can start to move forward into the A site if they want to.
Always going to be good at that, as that Mr. KO. So gets the assist for the first blood. It's only a solo anchor as Cortezia did get popped earlier on by a wallbang of the Outlaw of Heat as well. So he's down to 52. And at this point, you have no choice but to play passively on the top of the A site. The other three are trying to push down towards middle to get some early information because you are at a man disadvantage. But looks like Les could still lurk around.
Wow.
Just like a Cypher on this map.
Yeah, he is still feeling it very much so.
30 seconds left.
More of an open space than a choke to be forced away by a Neon or a Phoenix. A waylay at this point. But he's still looking. Because the 1v1s is always where he was so good. This is why it was Les the lurker. His aim is incredible, and he goes searching.
He's doing that with great proficiency on the Viper and a Cypher for the stage 1 and 2. So now having that new responsibility to do it as an Omen. Again, it's a nice little idea that KRU has with this identity. We talked about how MW0's kit could really help Dante activate in the future, but now with the flashes too, just to give a little bit more of a window for Dante to fight some blinded enemies when it comes down to these rounds. So it might look like the solution could be there for KRU at least for this first half for now, but maybe into the future if they're putting up a good fight against Sentinels for this series. It might be their identity going into the play-ins.
Maybe it took a little more practice too. Saying that there just hasn't felt like enough time to get enough reps in versus the competition they will face on the VCT stage, but they might be finally hitting that groove, and what a good time for an uptick. Get that groovement going. 6-0 for Les.
Set on an eco.
Whoa, right away. See how much they can stall each other. There's a bit of a gap in that wall, and nobody's able to use it. Yeah, they did. Sadak goes down, and they know exactly where the spike is, so Sentinels are able to bite down right away. Cortezia to tiles. Gets him punished a bit, but they're just trying to create space and get an upgrade if they can with these lower buys. Timing in favor of John Cutie that time.
How is this happening? A full Shiko round for Sentinels, dropping KRU like flies, and the spike's down out in the open.
Phantom for Jerwin too. Oh, and that's one called out by the announcer. KRU are probably wondering where the ground went out from under them so quickly as Jonah P gets the last kill to sweep Bless off his feet.
What a way here to stop the momentum from KRU. That small gap that you mentioned here, Riv, that was thrown up by Dante. He gets fully flashed by it. And you have 3 players from Sentinels just locking it down with the Sheriff. The walk down on middle too that you just saw. Was missing a little bit on the default positioning for the side of KRU to play against the anti-eco, but maybe they did not expect for just the walk down from Sentinels and are caught by surprise. Sentinels are back in the fight, and thanks to the eco as well from Sentinels, they're able to afford the operator on Jerwin, but they're not pitting him yet into the lane where he wants to fight on the A line against Heat, where Heat has started off there at the beginning of these rounds. Heat's actually moving towards B, so it turns out might be a showdown down that line after all.
Right towards market. A little bit of window shopping as they should spend some time here and figure out what Sentinels has for a defensive setup. Nice camera. And great tags coming in too. You can see him trying to still get into position. So Sentinels having to set up around a really nice KRU take into the site, but what can KRU do to set up the post plant? This has been a problem for them, all staying in the same spot, not getting good trades as they hear Redux coming through, making a lot of noise. That should activate the rest of the team. And run it back is relay bolted out. Just on the cusp of the retake. Heat gets a good start for the squad. Now the 4v5 retake from Sentinels commences, and the shots from Sadak and the rest of the team are crossed up perfectly. But John QT still finds an answer, finds a window for an opening. It seems like Spike going to be a little too long on this one, and the removal of KRU and Sen from the site is going to happen at this point. KRU able to pick up another round here and not let Sen get that much momentum.
The ult there from Redux was trying to just break that door, and it worked out because it really clumped everybody from KRU back into the B site. But the follow-up, what is the next wave for Sentinels to try to punish KRU as they're out in the open trying to stay alive from the retake? Yeah, that's a nice sliver shot there by Heat onto Cortezia. But it's good for KRU once it got clumped back into this B site to say, let's just flip it, fight towards Boba, and it caught so many players off guard. And that's a strong start that we currently have from KRU. Looking at Sunset currently for this matchup between these two teams, you probably would have said, this could be an easy 2-0 for Sen to start. But KRU are doing an excellent job. This potentially could have been a 5-0 if it wasn't for that Sheikah round from Sentinels.
And they know how to use momentum, as we see Ewok on the screen here, and a little bit of a resume.
Yeah, coming back here from the APAC. Took a little bit of a break at the end of 2025 and during the offseason. Thought that he was going to be fully taking a year off until Sentinels came knocking at the door. And the biggest improvement that he's done with RRQ back in APAC was actually getting into the Stage 1 Grand Finals, winning it, and also making it to the Stage 2 Grand Finals against Paper X and doing a decent run with RRQ into Champs. And Sen knocking on that door is basically to try to say, we want to maintain competitive in our own region. Sentinels, remember, they've qualified to every internationals in 2025, but never really won anything locally. This would actually be a very nice stepping stone to have somebody like Ewok that has won regional trophies with RRQ to bring something home for Sentinels in this year of 2026.
You hear Cortezia say as well, as he's been on Sen for a bit, this is one of the best teams of Sen he feels he's been on. Not as a historical org, but he feels like they have a big ceiling that they can hit here, and they're still pushing through. Where can they push through here? Already towards A main on the side of Sen. B is chaos caused from the shadows. KRU with a very textbook hit here, and that means they're just going to waltz in and take some shots. Nicely done. A little bit of util to boot, and they have quite a bit for the retake as well that'll come from Sentinels here. Might be a while, though. Still waiting for Jonah P's util to get from site to site. Stall from the Nightfall. The gate will give just a bit of an opening. A few more angles once they can see. Spike's already 10 seconds away, 15 seconds. Sen's gonna have to move fast here. And one from Sadak, two as he swings to the right, head on a swivel, and it doesn't even look like Sen can step foot through the door. What was that? Dante having a little fun as he does a jiggle swing towards that last kill. And a flawless round for KRU to say no way to Sen's timeout.
Very simple hit coming out from KRU Esports as well. You just have the TP from less into the site that forces Jern away. You pull out the KO ult at the same time, so there's no really true way for Jerwin to get any value. He can't get the recall op shot. Ooh. And what does that do? It allows KRU to have so much util in the post plant. Look at when Sentinels are trying to come back into the site. So much going on to delay. And KRU, they want to move quickly in this round. Such early information on the doubled initiator. They spot no mid control. They know pressure's coming in towards the A side from the double push of Sentinels. So they're in a great spot to take mid control to start and slow things down and try to force Sentinels to peak and potentially get picked.
Everybody's ready for a fight. Out of B, let the trips do the work. Spike's down, so everything is just search and find right now for KRU here. A nice push off, get the paranoia out of Cortezia. Very effective on their retake. It's gone now.
But as they fall back on this area, you're seeing here the backup on that side as well. There was a gap for them to take a little bit of a push into the market for KRU. But they decide to leverage that fallback from Sentinels to keep the players at bay, to keep that fog of war and for them to be paranoid on that B line, so you can keep more numbers to fight down towards the A line on a 4 versus 2.
30 seconds. Committing.
30 seconds left.
Sentinels has quite the forces here to prevent this from happening. We'll just wait for that fast lane to really click it open. Good fragment to deny, and they don't really have a smoke for that position, so they cut off the line through utility in other ways. And the dash into the site. MWZera and Dante breaking crosshairs and ankles as Heat finds one through the scope. John Cutie's wondering what's happening behind his gate, but he needs protection as Jerwin can make a bit of an answer over towards Pawn Shop.
probably has to be another save. It ends up being a 2 versus 4. A slight error in the column there for the side of Sentinels. You saw that flash coming out from Redux, that slant, trying to prevent the push from KRU when he activated the second wave from Dante's fast lane to execute towards the A site. But unfortunately, it blinds 2 of his teammates trying to support him down that line from short. And then those 2 players got encroached by both elbow, both on the A main. And nothing Redux could do to hold the line as the final stand. And KRU ends up having a strong attack round one more time. So the timeout from Coach Ewok.
Yeah.
No results from the last 2 rounds here. And this might be another one of those, what do we do? Is it going to be another round where we have to go for an eco pushdown? And KRU should be ready for that.
Ooh. Dude, he did it last round too, Dante, and he was shouting about it, that he was jumping around for those kills. He is just feeling it today. He may be down there 2, 3, and 1 is getting shut down a bit, but the space he's creating is what counts here for the rest of the team to get those kills and less finding SEN in transition. A play from SEN here as they get very aggressive on the A side. Tiles as well occupied all of the map here for the 5, and that is a big refract. It's going to be Jerwin trying to get some info to make a play. The timing's already there for KRU to be looking at every angle.
Oh, they're going for it.
Parallel convergence. Or convergence path rather coming in. Back and forth. They're all stuck. They're all stuck from the same spot. You can see it's John Cutie trying to peel away just to have a different entry in the site because they are found out right now. Dante down to a sliver of health, but still fighting. He's got the floaties on. Finally sunk by Redux. And this is about it. They're just trying to get out alive with these guns now and SEN get in to do some damage without costing. No, they're just going to dive in. Never mind. Right for giving up the orbs. They don't mind. A round win for KRU. A 7-1 now as they now make Sentinels look at that scoreline.
They had to push through. This was basically a half buy to have enough money to go into the next should they lose this one here. Boom. But so surprising that you still went for the convergence pass, gambling where the positioning for KRU could be in the post plant.
Yep.
And there was no reaction right after that. There was no follow-up. And it was always easy for KRU to set up for the post plant scenario because Les was holding spawn the whole time. So when those 3 pushed forward and he stayed back there and hurt that push coming forward, he could just tell the team nobody's going to be flanking, just worry towards the market. All of KRU was kind of there, and there was no entry possible for the side of Sentinels in. Somehow the tides have turned going into the second half where it's domination from KRU so far, and it's the Coach Ewok having to force both timeouts for Sentinels in the first half.
How can it always be the second map for them, Vansili? It's a weird, weird thing. Because you know their comms were probably the same. Their confidence is great because they just came out of a map win. But they talked about the snowball effect and things not working. Cortezia saying that game, I'll never have a game like that again. That was one of the worst games ever. It was just bad luck, you know? Feeling like he was still in a position to do well, but it just seems like second map is, I don't know, for Sentinels. They cannot seem to wrap their head around it.
Not only losing second map potentially for Sentinels, but therefore losing the series as well.
Yeah.
Don't want that to happen against a team like KRU who are still looking for their first dub on the stage. KRU not wanting to reach the bottom like Fury unfortunately has as they completed their second stage at 0-5. But this timeout's super important. How do we shut down the slow pacing from KRU? Sentinels maybe trying to shut down by pushing aggressively right into the round, but KRU talking together to try to stall this right now.
Vai sair para você, Moon.
Vai ser pra você. Não saiu pra mim.
Acho que você consegue calma aí, então, Moon.
Vou jogar. Morreu. Eu tô aqui com você.
Tem uma Sapphire ainda. Mas um no meio e um na direita e um também.
Guys, você 3 para A, tô achando.
Vai ser o Cypher pra B. Tem smoke, viu?
É, eu vou smocar... Nossa, eu vou smocar.
Põe uma cara direita, Alex.
Eu quero quebrar essa porta.
Mano, sabe o que é bom? Confia em mim. Smoke esquerda e passa pela esquerda. Confia.
É bom.
Mas um pouco mais perto, não, para isso?
Confia nisso.
Dá contato, tá? 2.
Entra no smoke. Boa, entra no smoke agora.
Vai.
Vai ter um cara aí. Boa, agora vai pra um só B.
Planta. Pra direita.
Nice.
É o da.
É o da.
Mano, eu vou plantar aqui, viu?
Tá, vamos jogar pra fora então.
Saints.
Dá TP pra mim.
Eu tenho uma smoke.
30 seconds left.
My ultimate is ready.
A nice round from KRU. You can see kind of the early celebration. They understand what they're executing is working, and if not for the round win, they're just really bolstering each other on that strat and squishing out the bad with a lot of good right now.
Started off so well, though, for Sentinels. They leverage Redux's ult, crunch into tiles, into the A main as well, drop in a spike, drop in 2 players. I think this was a 5-on-3 to start. But right after, when they're moving on the top of middle for KRU, you see the positioning from both Jonah P and from Jerwin. One hiding inside the smoke, the other one says, probably swing off me, but the way that you set up the crossfire there is so difficult because the map layout still allows for KRU to peek 1 player before and always have 2 scenarios where they have a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, tucked into this corner, so tough because you can't strafe left. Your only strafe is right or win the fight right out. Tough stuff.
Can have continuous hero plays attempted from the side of Sentinels there. They were really good on the first map of Sunset. They were basically farming KRU so far, but on the defensive side, they're seeing that it's dwindling down. The chances here of having a strong defensive start for Sentinels. Also, the comms are off so that they can't get these rounds back in their favor. So back at Nico.
That was one of the subsets of problems they kind of identified in these second maps. Just tripping over themselves and some comms. They set up that same defense in mid, but it is again another KRU round where they go on an adventure to see what they can find before grabbing that spike to make a move.
That's what's been annoying for Sentinels throughout this whole half. Yes, they're able to get some good value installing and holding the angle on the A line, but when it comes down to the less smoke on top middle, it's so thinned out at the top. There's no trip on the top side there, so they're always forcing like 1 or 2 players to crossfire on that side. Maybe because they just want John Cutie to use both trips to fight onto site or whatnot. Maybe this round too, because they're on that eco that I just mentioned before, but that's got to change for the setup right now for Sentinels in the next 2 rounds.
Sadak reads the team over to the B site. Really the only problem besides the people are the trips, and they've been clearing those very, very quick, giving themselves quadrants to work in here with that fast lane. Now only needing to fight the left side. The trip actually saves and allows them to kill that, keeping safety towards the front of the site, but this is good as Sentinels get back in. They have quite a bit of space as they wear off on this. Sees, no! Sadak actually pushes through. Doesn't even have to see his target to get that corner. Boba covered with the op from He. Critical miss there, but Sadak can get 1, 2, oh, third one. Almost to clean up even more, but John Cutie puts that to rest. A nice smoke will make KRU feel a bit antsy, but I think Les has everything locked down in sight as Dante is again playing that look at me game just to give his teammates more of a chance.
Is KRU going on a run starting now?
Is it happening? No, because see, when we believe, you ruin it, so don't believe just yet. Can't do false hope. Really clean stuff. It is a game where everybody's got a little bit of a step-up moment here. And they're making it work together, which is what you need to see at this point.
Sen City still behind the Sentinels team right here in the Riot Games Arena as they have changed the setup a little bit. Still trying to leverage the trips on the extremities instead of trying to find the late info on top middle. But they have put a 2-1-2 setup on the defense because the operator is back. And when the operator is on Jerwin, he's going to try to find the timing to get that recall and start walking down that line at the elbow. Seems like KRU, they want to take that down.
Jerwin gets the safety, and the op's actually going to slow down the left peak as he's able to get another kill. Able to switch to trying to do everything and juggle the guns in the back of the site, but KRU floods and makes it a case for a 10th round on their side. Oh, I was gonna say that's about to get sketchy. They quickly clean it up as Cortese is here. Almost gets that.
Ooh.
Almost.
Almost that one as well. It's a 1v2. And he doesn't hear the full rotate from NW0 in the back of the site.
Just at the last moment, he switches, and it's Cortese! Did you doubt him?
Still standing up as he's defusing for the Red Bull clutch for Sen City. I was mentioning he doesn't hear the rotate because he's hit by the Nightfall by NWZera, yet still turns around, spots his opponent, headshots him, and third time's the charm as he swings back against Heat, cools him down, and gets this defuse.
Instant mouse one transfer. He did not let go. Sometimes there's a reset there. Nah. He reset KRU.
KRU, though, despite the clutch, wants to move in right away.
We go again. Straight into the elbow. Derwin trying to deny with a bit of that hesitation in the utility, and they do a good job. But KRU, they feel like they're knocking at the door. At any time, they can explode into the site.
Nice little teamwork in 6th Sense from Derwin not to overcommit into the elbow because Heat was watching, or I guess somebody else was watching that line. That's MW0 with this Phantom right here. They're going to try to stop and go. Prowler not used. That was dangerous. Doesn't have any left for Jonah P, but that will probably activate the Nightfall once a hit comes.
Was always going to hit one. The pile of people coming through. Derwin knew he could take a shot. But this is the plan. They always lose Dante into the site, and KRU is able to hold it off. Jonah P down to 15 HP. He's going to try to limp into the site with the team. Nightfall is available, though, and that's the big part of staying alive for him. Pop flash from Sadak. He tries to slow it down, but actually gets himself caught a little bit in that as Redux gets the kill. And they're wondering, the paranoia, is it going to be enough to get into sight? Les isn't even hit by it, and he has been a killer impact frag for the squad. The crossfire isn't going to work for Cortezia. He's always able to dismantle it.
This man's a human turret. For the second time, goes for another 180. For a second time, the last one that he kills is Heat. And for the second time, gets the Red Bull clutch to keep SEN alive in the fight. 3 rounds into the half. That shouldn't have happened for Sentinels. But Cortezia is a magician.
Dude. And he said he feels like he's being used better in the server. With the team change, Ewok coming in, him being given more freedom to do things he likes, play the agents he wants. We're seeing it right now. KRU is up at 9-3. And we'll see what happens after we come back from the break.
If you're a player that is in that Sentinel role, always trying to find timings, you might want to look at what Les has been doing. Les, you are incredible when it comes to lurking, when it comes to being ahead of the team and being one step ahead. What tips do you have for the players trying to get that playstyle that you have?
I think the most important thing to do a good lurker is to focus on the communication of the team. This is my main point that I have been studying and focusing my whole career.
Sounds good, thank you.
We are back for KRU versus Sentinels as SEN look to keep this series alive by having one hell of an attack side. And I would say that was the way to start it with what Cortezia was just doing on defense. Let's see if they can carry that momentum.
Yeah, you definitely need that. If it wasn't for Cortezia, this was an 11-1/2 for KRU Visa. That's why he's at the top of the scoreboard right now, but the rest of them has been silenced by some great utility by Sadak. Some great entries as well for the team following behind Dante with the space that he creates. And now it's Sentinels trying to take the upper hand in the first place. The knife actually does spot Jonah P, but I'm not too sure here if Jerwin was able to slip through the net. KRU looking to activate the fight down towards middle, though.
Not going to find anything just yet. Cortesi is rotating back over. You can see him start to run. So the pacing of this definitely wants to be picked up a little bit by SEN. But they're going to run right into some util here from KRU. A nice fake over towards that left side. John Cutie very low after the interaction. Oh man, they've walked it all the way up. It's going to have to be a very fast reaction from KRU. And Dante's on that one. The rest of the team has actually a very good kind of relurk here coming into the elbow. And SEN gonna go, they're gonna keep going to try to completely flip the map here. Les has a bit of a read on it, knowing the plant hasn't gone down, but he's down. He is down himself. This is such a weird round that SEN has created for KRU to just fall into. And now he wondering if he is on the attack side or the defensive side. It's so lost with what SEN's created.
Top of that, Redux goes for the plant. Getting even closer to his ult in the potential next round. But what a call by John Cutie.
Jeez.
It's interesting because the way that KRU's been playing on that pistol round is very similar to when they were playing the double duelist. Just try to add the aggression on the defense. It caught some players off guard for the Sentinel side. But the call over here to try to rotate towards the spawn to get that pick, to keep Redux inserted, to backstab and surprise two players is just a masterclass adaptation on the fly from the IGL of Sentinels.
Pistol means they could string some together, and bonus is going to be incredibly important. The left side of the map for SEN to start. And they're making sure orbs aren't grabbed, but this would get Redux the ultimate already.
They'll hear that audio cue for KRU. Not fully reacting for a mid push or anything, just to try to get some picks. They're just trusting Heat down that line out in the open. We could TP away right on this ledge.
He's got the aim for it. Keeping himself protected with the mid column. And tries to bring it to the last second of that util. No deal. There's a pop flash. Trying to play a little anti. You can see Sadak just on the other side of the wall.
Oh, that knife is good.
Knife right into the wall next to him is huge. Bye-bye. Make that runaway sound and come back. You're going to have to because you don't have anything on the map with 30 seconds left, and Dante already has that timing. He's going to make the classic sting a little bit because they're not going to have all the angles right away, but it should be a cleanup, right? He hunts ahead, and there's 3 for Redux. Going to go ahead and just clean everything up for 4 again on the round as Jonah P gets that finalizer.
Nice sprays by Redux, and this time not hitting his teammates with the flashes either, making sure that it's staying behind his teammates as they clear out the site. Again, good calls. Even though you had that push down from Dante that had all the information, you had 4 players ready for KRU to encroach on that hit from Sentinels. But as Redux pops out first, he finds that timing before util comes down for the side of MW0 to seize everybody down, bring the HP down, and potentially get the right-click classics in favor of KRU Visa. But it's Sentinels that were able to string those rounds that you mentioned earlier on here, Riz. So that's 2 here. Bonus round coming out on their side. Pressure up on the elbow.
Looking to execute on that first blood strat. They'll just leave Heat alone. Knowing that fizzled out, they're not going to put too much more priority into it. But looking at SEN, they start to reset. Seeing Heat, seeing MW0. Now they have a little bit of information to work with in mid. Fast to market. Should get a little bit of trouble here. Nice slide by Dante to just absolutely zero out the run it back, but now they have to do it again, rinse and repeat, and it's enough room for Sentinels to gain. What a crossfire by these two. as they're selling Senna Bridge in the market area. And now, John Cutie doing his damnedest. He's going to have so many people to look at. And it looks like Cortezia is really only on that line. MW Zera takes him down for this round, and a 10th round for KRU. They do not let Sen get too much momentum.
I wonder if I heard that door close. I wonder if they're closing that up and then playing inside that smoke, but a beautiful hold in the end for the side of KRU. Just too many players inside that market. Yeah, there you go. That door was closed. I think they're just trying to sell a fake and catch some players off guard. Unfortunately, it didn't work out there for Sentinels for a nice little on-the-fly pivot one more time, but KRU has reached double digits already in this second map. And you're seeing here that trip that's being placed at the top. The trip that was missing here for Sentinels on their defensive side allows for KRU to have a lot more bodies to fight once Sen goes in with the aggression with the double duelist play.
Incredibly different styles of play here, and KRU is persevering with theirs from both sides on both halves, and still kind of 1-3-1ing this. What an insert onto for Jerwin into B. And they aren't even going to have an inkling that he is there. That's the push. It's going to be a double peek, though. He's going to have to play this one pretty crazy as he sees down, and Heat gets the best of him. Nicely sorted out. Jonah P and the rest of the team able to work off of that. And the breadcrumbs they leave for each other to work off of on the side of Sentinels are really helping.
And this is like two, 3 rounds so far for Sentinels on the attack side, where they're doing an excellent job playing within these inserts. Even if Jerwin didn't catch some players off guard towards that market, he would have hurt the jump spotting from NW0 on the top of B, so he could account for so many bodies when he's listening for noise, which allows John Cutie to continue to work around that map. Playing that default, keeping players inserted over on the A side as well. The trip also on their side on the attack allows for them to hear if Dante's going to try to go for another one of those long A side pushes. So yeah, KRU on the pass, or that at least this round, playing a little bit more passively. A little bit of a pain on on their sides. No exits for Les either.
Sentinels up to 6. So the little momentum they need is a lot. I mean, Redux can get ult in one more. So if he keeps cycling that, Sentinels have a way to keep pushing into these sites. Cortezia is playing out of his mind here. So there's been a few ways that they have found an avenue back in. Now KRU needs to find an answer. The operator comes out for their side. Let's see if they start setting up differently.
Yeah, KRU does definitely want to challenge the denial of the orbs. With the knife being avoided by Sentinels, though, he does have the line to look down with the operator.
They're going to try to blind him. If there's any type of play. Maybe that was more reactive, it seems, with the positioning of the rest of Sentinels. They start to move in together. Could be a ruse. Jonah P's moving toward that left side. Throws a Prowler right away as Cortezia goes down. Smokes to the site are going to be tough to come by here for Sentinels. So they're going to have to push forward a little further once they do this take.
Surprising here that Sentinels did still try to contact play on the top of the A line. When Jonah P throws the Prowler towards the B main, it's actually rifled and no op shots shot on that side. So they should have maybe expected a little bit more from Heat on the A line. Now Prowler also finds the mid-round information that Sentinels has stayed stuck and put on the A side. So they'll kill. Heat still ready in this spot.
Run it in, taken out. Now they know where Heat is, and he still gets a shot. Getting out with the second rendezvous that came back online. That's the push forward that we saw, but Sentinels still get the plant. Jonah P able to get the lurk timing here, so this means KRU is probably going to flood back in instantly. Jonah's got to get back here to help Redux. He's doing his damnedest, and it's going to be the defuse by 3. Big protection. And Dante just behind Slant's going to be able to get this. Another round for KRU. They push it to 11 as they continue to find out how to shut down Sen in these rounds.
Whatever happens,
Heat has been amazing on this map so far for KRU as well on both the attack and the defense. Look at him, comfortable, 17 and 8. Remember, proficient on the operator, as RKT mentioned at the beginning of this game, which is the reason why you're seeing Heat just owning up on this chamber. It blocks down so many lanes. It allows for Sadak to also get good information of where Sentinels are currently setting up. And that trip that's at the top of middle just allows for them to continue to focus on those extremities.
He's really what they needed. Not even afraid to take shots under that pressure of util right in his face and people knowing where he is. It's what you need. A little bit of love for B. Same insert. They're going to look for German this time. Okay. He's like, maybe not. We're going to go for the other side of the map. They hear a few more at B this time.
Dropping spike.
Yeah, the call right now is to have Jonah P start selling a fake potentially over on this side. So Haunt or Prowler, depending what comes up, how he wants to use it, is to pivot back from John Cutie back on that B line. They're going to re-hit this B site.
So there's 2 layers there with the one-way. Jonah now has the task of adding pressure by himself. See if he can't get in the jump peak or figure out of a push.
Oh, that knife, though, just spotted 3 towards the B main. Sentinels probably has to activate now.
Can't use that.
30 seconds. Flash has come out. Jerwin is going to be that distraction. Great paranoias. And Dante's forced to exit. They can reset this one. Trade's coming through the smokes a little bit, but Les is trying to take that left side. Great teamwork with him and Sadak. Cortezia. One is going to get pushed up. He actually has a chance to create the 1v1s with Jonah P here. The possibility is very real as they get the spike down and Nightfall gives them some breathing room. He goes for the fake. Oh no, he actually got some space there, but Les going now for the ace. Finding Jonah P. Oh, Heat's gonna take the shot and steal it from him. A great round for KRU though, and confidence to push this to a map point against Sentinels.
Definitely looks like right now Sentinels was not ready to play against this chamber, and KO out from KRU. Slowing down the rounds also doesn't work out for them just because of the utility that Sadak is able to get in the mid round. You hear it there, the crowd really wanted that ace, but at the end of the day, I think for KRU, as we mentioned before, setting that bar low, you just want to get your second map in for the stage. 1 round away to be able to attain that goal and hopefully get their first series if they're able to push this onto Breeze against Sentinels here as they're looking to aggress down towards the tiles. Whoa.
Jerwin looking for a very fast kill as, KRU was pushing mid. Each had their own priority to start the rounds, but it seems like that quickly resets. Oh my gosh. That from the shadows is making a sticky situation for that rotation in spawn for KRU. No way he has this timing, and they're not really aware of what went down. Cortezia. He's looking for the crown again. He's looking to be the king once more for the team in this series, and Dante shuts that down very fast. In the 3v4, KRU trying to break back into the site and find all the members, but they don't even know Spike hasn't made it in. They can slow it down.
Second flank.
They don't even slow it down. They push right through. Around comes KRU. They've gotten themselves into a bit of trouble here by pushing the factor, but it's gonna be enough! Wait a minute, he's slowed. The convergence, knocking him around a little bit, gets the spike. He's actually gonna be, no way! Sadak gets the kill, and that's the iconic smile from the IGL. 13-6 as KRU take Sen's map of Sunset. And Sadak had a few of those too for Dante on the spin kills. So yeah, the protocols are there. We'll see if Sen can reset once again as we are on to Breeze. A cove in mid to start, just to temper anybody's pressure there from KRU, but they're not worried about it as they play a bit of default or attack themselves.
Sentinel sees this wall from Les at the beginning, right? But nobody's reacting to say these guys are going to hit towards this B site because of that Viper wall. So they're keeping their 2-1-2, and especially with that knife, they definitely know now for Sentinels that KRU are slowing down that round for this pistol.
John Cutie starts to lean a little bit to make sure they have the right decision here in the play. And wow, running the clock down for the first strat. They've gone decent util even with the ghost they have on the side of KRU, so a post plant pushing forward is a possibility. The lurk from Heat, rather, could leak through into that mid side.
Just to walk it and set it. It's a perfect call from Sadak. Sentinels are playing so far back because they're thinking the re-hit's coming from the Viper wall into B. And now finally, those two players that you currently see at the A ramp for both Jonah P and Jerwin, they just have to stay back towards that spot and wait for the rotate to happen.
Just sniped less from under that cut on the left side. As they re-enter towards A, Sentinels are getting everybody from that heaven position, and Cortezia is not caught off guard by the transition. A nice push from KRU, though, is able to stop Sen at the front door. This is going to be a very difficult retake now. Dante looking left and right. Oh, beautiful shot there, and identifies the last player, but it's Cortezia again in the clutch situation, and they're going to ring around the rosy for this fight. He looks to get himself in between the spike and his opponent. Goes for the shots, and now this is the angle that favors Dante in this play. He's obviously going to look for half, and Dante gets the push. How the hell does he do this? It's going to be the defuse going down to fast, but it's going to be a little too late for Cortezia as the finger slips on the wire cut. KRU takes pistol.
The smile and the confidence coming out from Dante so far after winning that 1v1 against Mr. Clutcher of Cortezia on that second map of Sunset for Sentinels. That's going to have to feel good because Dante was getting shut down week after week. He had issues finding his confidence as well within the fights, but look at him, solo towards yellow in that post line and still picks up 2 kills and wins the 1v1. What happened for Dante for the last week, going into this week, the work probably that he has put in outside of the server is currently paying off, and that is going to show a KRU that's super dangerous in this third map.
Confident into the Phantom buy for him here as we're watching Heat take space very fast, straight up mid, knowing that he's faster than a Classic or even Sheriff if it was purchased outright. He'll be able to hit that shot.
Pistol rounds now traded back and forth every single one of these maps. Now KRU takes the lead by winning this first one here. Attempted stack by Sentinels over on the A side.
One of the best chances.
Shot at least instantly. I think it should give a tally, yet KRU still wants to walk into this.
They're going to try. They are going to hit a wall of Sentinels. How do they weather it? Relay bolt to the left. They actually eat quite a bit of util themselves as the snake bite comes down. And now everything is called off of this strategy. And in B hides Redux here to set a trap for at least one. If he gets 2, his job is more than done in this situation. And Heat here looking for the transition. The wall goes up. He didn't think anybody was going to peek right away, so they buy a bit of time on the side of Sen, and Redux does get one. Takes down MW Zera. As that darts out, KRU cleaning up the defenders from Sen as they rush back in here, and it was a great job. They've done it just about every map of the series to reset the call and hit the other site, knowing Sentinels might have an upper hand. That's a second for KRU, and they only lose MW Zera on the take.
Just so we guys still have a little bit of KRU fans in the crowd as well, not just a full Sen City house. Bonus round for KRU, and you have a rifle to a Marshall, 2 rifles actually as well for KRU. It'll have to be, I was going to say, Sadak probably going to try to scout for the first place. They're putting the rifles into the hands of Heat so that he can control A main solo instead of trying to go for the walk contact with the escape that he could do with his CB.
Dante disrespecting the cove that's been thrown every round in mid. And yeah, even pre-firing the angle, expecting to catch Sen off guard. They make him scramble. KRU makes Sen scramble a little bit in B, and we're back to this mid strat. Yeah, I think we're going to get this a lot from KRU as well. Drone in, it looks like they have the protocol that makes them feel safe about this execution.
So we'll go back into the pistol round strat for Sentinels. Keep the 2 players at bay towards yellow. Being again the same Jerwin and Jonah P waiting for the rotate to happen. No dart available, so Jonah P will probably have to start droning to get the info, and it starts out towards this ramp.
Jonah seeing what he can find before the fight happens as Cortezia lurks over, already having an impact on the fight before he even enters the site here. And Sen have done such a great job of closing the gap, but it's going to be KRU that have to defend now, and they cannot do a damn thing about that pressure.
Les is going to have to save. No choice. Beautiful retake by Sentinels in the gun round and only losing one player in the process. But that one player that they lost, being Cortezia, did his job. The second time here that he rotates around and still understands that there's going to be a lurk. Because despite the role changes around KRU, they're still holding a similar style of having somebody late lurk around. That was the playground for Les as a Cypher on this map. And he does so to perfection as a Viper on Lotus. So the game plan for Sentinels, it doesn't matter. You're always going to expect that.
Yep.
Cortezia reads that, gets the first pick. It wasn't Les, but at least it was another player on that late lurk. And allows here Sentinels to have a much stronger retake in the front lines from the spawn into the A site. Knife this time around hits 2 players towards the A main. Courtesy from Sadak onto Sentinels. Started backpedaling on that side and trying to work a little bit more into a mid, potentially to B finish.
Priority mid control, it seems, for KRU over the past few rounds.
That's true.
Really trying to separate Sen's ability to transition from site to site, but also get that up online. Remember, that was Dante sliding in there with overdrive last time. Now it's heats up. Find the same line.
I'm sure the game plan's going to start changing a little bit here for Sentinels, as they're not playing a Cypher on their side, so holding a camera to watch that top middle is impossible. So you need to put a body out there if you're not going to have Jonah P play towards top nest to drone at the minute mark or whatnot. So Cortezia gets instantly punished here. KRU could just go for the re-hit into the A site. Sentinels understands that the threat is coming towards this side, so they've rotated all the players to take control of the information that they've lost at that minute mark. So that's an open site now for KRU to take.
30 seconds left.
What happens after this is Sentinels could decide if they want to go for the retake because they still have to run it back from Redux. But it seems as though it'll be a full save into the next round.
Sadak has been able to do some otherworldly things with bringing the team back and forth. Watching that happen on Summit was pretty incredible too, even though they weren't able to grab that one. But he has a read on what John Cutie wants to do with the defense.
Yeah. I think also with the threat that they're putting with this Viper wall down that line, should start activating that a little bit more early. Try to get some players into work in middle. But you have to understand, though, that if a timeout comes out from Ewok after this round, that conditioning from KRU probably changes the next round after, where you don't go for that mid control anymore.
That's a
and
great
those
point.
Extremity could get that value for KRU. So we'll have to see here what will be the call. They've had a lot of time, speaking about John Cutie, to speak to his team while they were saving this whole minute.
Yeah.
So maybe Ewok understands, trusts the call here from John Cutie, and will not call into the timeout because they have the read. There you go. Look at the position now, having 2 players there. I mean, the wall goes down, but are they going to try to walk down that spot? You also have Jerwin getting ready to move into the mid-double doors.
Be interesting to see if they still condition John Cutie's cove real quick to one-way that, or they try to just feign that it's not happening and they move down. No, instant out. It always is going to slow down the attackers anyways, so they want to rinse and repeat with that utility. But a lot of A. We're not getting a KRU B focus all that much out of this game. It's only mid and then back to A.
Man, what good conditioning, though, from KRU. After one knife, even though if it doesn't hit players, the call from Sadak is to move back towards the A line and walk in.
How do they walk in so much? It's going to be the relay bolts for Jerwin and the team to get back in. He's forced forward on that fragmentation grenade. And the wall is providing a lot of safety. Both teams, Phantoms are going to be the big priority here to spam through. And the run it back is snuffed out. 5v5 still on this retake. Lurks in order. Just on the other side of the wall here, our Vipers ready to bite, and Sadak does it again.
Well, that's it. They canceled the hit towards the A side to move towards B. So it's a double conditioning being done by the side of KRU. The wall comes up, Sen thinks, well, they have to hit it. The Viper wall's up this time around. Yet, it's still, they've chosen a wrong path and back into the B site. It still allows 2 players to rotate it, to cut that rotate.
This is kind of insane that they're just able to run center on like this, but also Sen is realizing in the mid-round they need to stick together to make this work. With the audible, Sadak is called. A huge force from Sen here at Bend, as Jerwin is going to look to enter by himself on the other side of the site. One from Heat already, as he's going to make sure Sen has to look behind before they can even go forward. And that's the first distraction as Sadak peppers a little damage in. KRU only losing 1 so far in this entire instance. And it looks like they'll control another round from the results we're getting right now. That kill from Les pretty much seals the deal as Sentinels run for the hills again. And they're going to chase. Blood in the water. Dante just on the edge of that. Sadak still going to be able to close in. And this a very different set of maps all across this series now with KRU chasing Sen around at the end of rounds.
I will put their Viper.
It almost feels that the reaction from KRU on how they rotated back towards that B side almost feels reminiscent to the 100 Thieves versus Cloud9 game, when the Harbor is slicing up the map so they can try to contain and fight and deny that spike plant over to where the hit's coming from in the first place. You block your own vision, which allows the attack to just cut that hit and then continue to add the fog of war onto their opponents, which then allows for KRU to really get into the B site for a plant. So far, when I talk about these problems that KRU could be facing by just playing the solo controller on Viper, they're doing an excellent job, though, to really just fight against the Sentinels on the mid round somehow. Still able to cross into the site somehow and get these plants down.
Why need a wall when you have taken everyone out of the defensive positioning?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my God, Sadak is so crazy with the things he's been calling right now to just maze through the Sentinels defense every time. 10 seconds on this timeout, and it just gives KRU a chance to talk too and reset. But Ewok wanted to get in the ear of the team, let them know maybe it's to rotate a little bit less, or at least leave that kind of safety, that fail safe for the audio grab that the transition's happening, because they are just being left in the dust on these strats.
Yeah. One thing into defaulting for KRU when they actually go for a site hit is that they're actually holding on to the front wall this time around. So I feel that when it comes down to Sentinels, you got to lock down at least one of the extremities towards the A main or towards middle, because that's where the wall contact is happening for KRU before the wall comes up. You get spotted, the wall comes up, they go for the hit. That's why this time around they're still holding on to it.
They know an off is there. And in, Cortez actually gets 2 kills. They haven't cleared ladder just yet, and their turn from KRU is big. They swarm the site. Cortez has already done enough damage, though. Les looking for a bit more space. Precarious res, but Sadak is back on his feet. And Les gets another one. My God, they're so confident on these plays. Even seeing their teammates go down, KRU realizes the situation is still 100% in their favor. Not a bit of hesitation here from the team in the third map.
Just cutting noise as well. I mean, this orb's going to go down. He hears the footsteps, making a surprise one here. Nice read by MW0 to tap that spike, thinking that the flank will be happening from Jonah P. And he also heats op back up. But where was the comms when KRU were executing inside that site? Cortezia did an excellent job shutting down 3 players. Unfortunately, one of them being Sadak with the ult. Allows for them to get res and still give the player advantage over to KRU. But at least they cleaned up their mistakes on the entry by having so many players for the side of KRU to be able to trade perfectly. And the woes continue on the side of Sentinels.
Not only...
Yeah, because KRU continues to dominate here on the first half that they play. From the second map of Sunset into this map of Breeze.
And the added pressure of the playoff implications for 100 Thieves, too. That KRU continue to tug at the heartstrings of. Derwin pushing out mid. Way more active here from Sentinels to try and get under the skin of KRU. How did Heat even get out of that alive? MW0 saves his life, and these walls up in mid that they're able to dance in and out of are coming up big in the play.
Yeah, that pressure is definitely causing mistakes now in the camp of Sentinels. At least they lock down this B line with Cortezia's ult. They could still focus a little bit of pressure down towards that middle. So that drone coming out from Jonah P at that minute mark just to spot here, players still taking control towards the A main, so he falls back. As Redux clears down towards the elbow, that gives the tell. Look at Cortezia already rotating out. They know the hit is coming towards A.
The trade, John Cutie's there to get a spam through, but that's just going to let Dante and the squad know they need to be a bit more careful here. John almost has to pull out a crazy play, but he is going to wait for the team. That spam almost comes up big. Redux, good utility to get back into the site, and that's what they need to work off of to clear these positions. A 3-man swing from KRU finds John Cutie. Cortezia is able to pick him off as they try to get back to safety, and he punishes that error. This needs to be when SEN start to come back. They want to look for an even first half. They want to look for a little bit of momentum from that second map struggle they've been facing. Two of the best players to make it happen, Cortezia and Redux now. Cortezia's caught, or Redux caught in the jump rather, and Cortezia takes a dink here as now KRU breathe a sigh of relief. A double swing to probably finish this one off. And they have found a way around the SEN retake. So many rounds in a row when it always is looking possible for SEN.
Even lets himself die to the spike because Les is 1 pip away of getting the ult in the next round. So couldn't even try to save the Odin, so that is going to grind into the economy of Sentinels in the next round. Yeah, how does he stay alive? He didn't TP because he jumped. You can't TP when you're mid-air as a chamber, and somehow he still survives. And Coach Ewok does not like the results of that one.
That triple swing, really nice bit of info. They realize they need to react instead of be the ones getting acted on. Nice job.
Eco for Sentinels. Okay, with the knife seeing nothing there. It's just going to get them primed to fight into the A main in case there's a trap coming here from Sentinels.
Basically, util for util is what they're waiting for. If they hear it from KRU, Redux throws a flash around the corner to stall. Heat looking for that peek, though, and it's been a lot of times KRU hasn't used util to start showing themselves. They're allowing Heat to get on these lines and just wreak havoc. Oh, that went right behind him. Heat still takes him down in a quick flick. John Cutie answers, I don't think they can get too many upgrades on the guns here, and that just means KRU's gonna want to squeeze in even faster. 2 Sheriffs help out Sentinels on this round, but they're still incredibly pressured. Oh, Reckoning just to the side, off the timing they needed, and MW Zera gets 2 quick kills from it. A third one from Les as they clean up SEN to face a third map that sees a 7-1 scoreline in a row.
That's crazy. And just trying to go off an itch was a Reckoning out from John Cutie that unfortunately doesn't hit anybody. NWZ slips through the net to get these 2 picks, and that is Dante realizing that somehow this game is starting to become easy.
There's a very different look on his face of happiness, relief, where that situation's clicking of all the work that they've put in coming into the season.
Right now, the fans of Loud out in Brazil are cheering here for KRU's victory against Sentinels, because if KRU somehow defeats Sentinels today in this BO3, that also confirms Loud into the playoffs with 100 Thieves. Offshot somehow misses.
And that's exactly what they don't need. Dante takes the space, and look at that, Cortezia's almost not ready, but he's always able to get there in time. They're trying to force the fact Sadak is in enemy territory right now and in a weird position that Jonah P doesn't expect. Heat gets a kill as well to loosen the hold that Sentinels has on B site. 2v2. Operator still there as Heat moves around looking for the next victim, and they have to reclaim the spike.
Les has wall, has the pit, yet they still want to walk contact to fight against both John Cutie and Redux.
Oh, no way.
1 enemy remaining.
Insane.
What a read.
They knew it. He couldn't have been anywhere based on the noise made, so they just snuff him out.
And you had the info on the last person. Tapping that spike, jiggling out. They know that Redux is coming in from the tunnel.
Just making sure there wasn't a rewrap.
And they knew.
So ready. Take a shot, reposition. Take a shot, reposition. And it's just Sentinels members on the other end of the scope each time.
Yeah, right now it's KRU that could do no wrong. Anything that they try to do, it's working. Ooh. That 2 versus 2, instead of playing it safe, putting the wall up, putting the pit. It's a walk contact, man. The read on that snake bite to allow that Headhunter to get value from Heat. is just insane how KRU is playing with so much confidence in this third map.
Sadak is living in Sentinel's head right now. That's crazy to see.
And you just saw Duran living in his own head there with the amount of shots that he's missed and the first blood opportunities that he's had in the last couple of rounds, just not connecting.
So the answer is not coming from the squad in the server right now. Ewok has to get in their ear, let them reset. And it just almost has to be right now, play your own game, because they are made to play KRU's game right now, and Sentinels cannot get a footing. We'll come out of this. It's one of Sen's last timeouts to see if they can right the ship here and still keep that playoff alive. Starting out towards mid. Oh, also Sentinels wants to come out of tunnel hard and finally use this wall mid. If they can't grab a little space, they got full guns on this.
And they want to fight with aggression. They're tired of giving up mid control, which is Sentinels. Walls down.
Holy moly. He still gets one. And they're out. Spike not even picks up. GemWZera going for a very risky peek, knowing there are 3 others still in mid here. Oh, what a flick. Dante has already made it all the way into B. God, they are working around Sentinels so good.
And that's the miscomm too, because he put the wall up, he danced around, Cortesia is chasing after him, but doesn't call here for Jonah P that he's going to be exposed by jump up by Dante. And that allows KRU to have the man advantage and forcing Sentinels to peek for information. So they're just watching the lines from different areas while Dante is still trying to find that info, and he becomes once again the human drone.
Crazy stuff. The human turret takes down the human drone as they start to move back into B. And Cortesia is going to give that space up. It's the safest play, not knowing where the rest of everyone is, to get in range of Redux here. And the 2v2 is what we come down to. Once again, Cortesia and Redux, the same 2 alive.
Orb's about to come down.
That first touch, yep, beautiful. Sadak, so quick with the answer here, giving Cortesia a taste of his own medicine. And now Redux needs to make it happen. They call upon the young one. He's still buying some time. Pushing to the left now, getting the op from Heat, and it's gonna be KRU with another round, winning the 2v2 situation to bring it to 9-1.
And Sentinels had the element of surprise in that 2 versus 2 until the wall, the blaze wall comes up from Redux and they identify where he's at.
Jeez.
But he was just trying to create a diversion there so that Cortesia could play around the timing of his orb to stop the plant from going down. Yet Sadak still understands it, taps that spike to win that duel, and to eventually win the round, and they're at 9-1.
It's quick. Oh my God, it's very quick. Dante gets 1 here. That's the run it back going down, so it's still a bit of a reset. Sentinels very quickly cleaning this one up. Oh wait, Heat making a case for it as he takes 1 more down, switches to the Phantom. And that trigger on the relay, almost giving him another kill here. He wants to peek out towards Brick, but he gets pushed off by the snake bite, and things finally calm down. You can see how much KRU wanted to keep it going. Quick flash, no one really able to push off of this. They're just still testing each other.
Oh, I mean, just snatch that away.
Teleport's ready. Spike dropped.
They saw it. They're gonna stay together and chase.
How the hell did you let KRU pick up that spike though? That smoke was actually allowing KRU to just move inside the orb to pick it up.
Okay. So we've just ended the last round, and we are basically back into the same situation, +1 on Sentinel's side now. If KRU can get this, it would all but really put that momentum to sleep, and a great shot as Cortezia shrugs off that last round.
Yeah, huge advantage now for Sentinels, especially with that high tide coming up. Especially with the Cove coming up as well, it'll be impossible for Heat.
Full pressure, over half defuse here, really nice by Sen. They can play this one with util. No one needs to go crazy. And they make a 9-3 look for the first half possible.
Able to clean it up, but probably exactly the same scoreline as Sunset on the first half. Remember, it was a 9-1 scoreline. Cortezia had to clutch 2 rounds. This time around, it's the Professor that clutches the round to protect Redux, who was caught dead to rights in the run it back because he got canceled right away. But thankfully, Jonah mows down 3 players and allows Sentinels to still have players here over on the A side to protect it and also to win and close out the map in the end, or close out the round in the end.
Whoa, what a protocol here as they try to just slam towards A. A relay bolt is returned. Dante's forced to stay for a bit. Dodge out on this spam. Sentinels, very clear protocols for the beginning of each round, and this one really pays off as they fully commit to the A push. They're bringing over Cortezia as well just to keep the fight here, and they're not going to let the spike get away this time, right? No, they are not. They swarm it and make sure they can cover this for a 9-3 first half. Beautifully done here, but you question, is it too little too late from Sen to activate this kind of aggression?
Jerwin's going to find that confidence, though, moving in the second half. Opening up those 2 kills with the Guardian is huge.
Les says, try me. And he's going to wait, right? If anybody wants to be near pit, they are taking the tick damage, so he goes a little closer. 40 seconds to grab and run here. He can dine and dash. You see, Cortezia's already heading back over. They're not going to let this happen again. Yep, straight across spawn. Even taking the safe one to make sure there's no trickery being played just off the gas. 20 seconds. Les doing his best. You have to. It's the final round, and all that Redux is still going to have the shot. 3-9 as Sentinels do capture 1 more, but again, is it too little, too late?
I really respected that idea from Les, though. When he drops down that pit and he stays in there, I was like, oh, crap, it's Les. The isolates fight, it's GG, but thankfully, not only Jerwin, but also Redux was able to hold that line. It's going to be another 9-3 half, but Sentinels trailing behind by so much.
The conclusion of Sen versus KRU series right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to VCT Americas for the conclusion of Sentinels versus KRU. KRU on the brink of taking down Sen as they look ahead to playoffs. And KRU would be grabbing their first win here, which is such a boon for them as they look towards the play-in with these building blocks.
And I was hoping for KRU to have a chance to win this map. They had to have a pretty decent attack side because it was going to be difficult for them to attack. Yet somehow they pulled 9 rounds on the attack side. So playing the solo controller on Les could act like a Senti to stall on one side, and then the responsibility from KRU now to use the other Senti of Heat with the headhunter looking down towards the A-line. The nice spot, so many players as well. The double initiator is also going to have KRU move around the map as they're already moving 3.
Yeah, happy to play retake, it seems, on that B site. But also the info they grab in mid here could be big. The timing of that forward walk is going to see everybody back here down by spawn. And just a foot, yep. That's kind of risky to stay out in the open, but they want to pull that fight in because they feel stronger in the battle, and they come away healthy on the side of KRU. As this gets pushed over to be John Cutie quite low, but they should have time to plant here. I say that with a question mark because KRU is actually quite close already. Yeah, they're going to give it to him just for the safe retake.
Got to wait for the high tide to come down and also leverage a knife and flash from Sadak for the retake.
Ooh. Les gaining some unknown space here, and he's going to be the one that could really cause some problems. A flash to the backside, so that's cleared for Sadak. John Cutie hits his first shot as none of the utils being used on the right side of the site. Easy for Sentinels now to pick these up. They identify one, but they're looking for a third. Now they know. Trying to keep it safe. What a push-up by Redux to thread the middle of the defenders. Beautifully done. Pistol round for Sentinels.
Trading it out once again, so 3 for 3 in the pistol rounds in this series. Really nice stuff on to the post plan for Sentinels there. They can just focus on fighting in the front of that site because Cortezia is still watching the back lane behind Pillar from his position in the front of B. All right, the vibe's at least still up here for Sentinels. We'd like to see that. An FPX buy on the attack side, 3 rifles and 2 ghosts. Redux 2 pips away of getting his ult, so he's just trying to pick it up. So standard plays on the side of the attack, and a double hold from both Jonah P and Cortezia will spot and stop the threat and prevention of KRU getting their own orb on the A side.
Just allowing Heat to be that back anchor in B here, as it looks like SEN want to end over towards that B site. I think they like the way it works, knowing they saw a bit of util over towards A. And this should be quite a safe hit. Giving a little respect here to KRU, even if it is their low buy. This should be a textbook hit for SEN coming in. Out to the angles, pushing back, force Heat out of sight, and now they can take their defensive positions. Now this is where you question, do they move up? Or do they set up a little defense here? Make sure there's no pushing from KRU.
Should be switching weapons. There you go, Redux with the Ghost, because he's one away from his ult. Got to start running forward fairly soon. We try to pick up the ult into the next round. That said, KRU are rotating all the way back, looking for some huge exits.
SEN not even searching. They realize what this round means, and even the bits of armor that they carry into the next round with the way KRU has been playing. So this is a very, very safe post plant for a team that has classics. And you can see why. A little bit of a bandit play there too from MW Zera. Oh, shot in the face. Les is gonna make it into sight though. Little ha-ha as he runs away. And a cleanup. Nice job by KRU to get in there with a little damage, but great job by SEN to keep it going.
Still very nice by KRU to have a protocol to look for exit kills by slicing the exit lanes and not allowing Sentinels to have the best of luck to watch that flank. They were perfectly set up on a high-low on the top of the staircase to look after the flankers. And after that wall comes down, you see how you started scrambling a little bit on the side of the attack of Sentinels. Yet thankfully KRU was only able to take down 1 player in the process on that flank. So it allows here for Sentinels to have a full rifle round in their bonus. Lots of noise being made towards the middle thanks to Redux. Just trying to force the rotates away here from the A line. So that potentially after the walk contact and that their position's given away, Redux can pick up the orb.
Timing here. Sadak realizing a nice destroy on the knife though, so they can't identify how many are there. They just realize it's an alt orb play now that the run it back is coming through in A site. Sadak doing a good job playing off a bit of that detection, but he is spammed out for his troubles. And just to run it back. So close to this site already. Seems like KRU is trying to turn up the pace just a little bit, and Dante is able to execute on that, not realizing Sentinels is still 3 strong on that spike plant.
They're trying to duel again as well. Low smoke dropped. Trying to spot here, rotate potentially from orange. In the end here, Sentinels were able to have a very clean take. Last 2 players for KRU will save their weapons. And it's nice this time around here that the way that Sentinel's scaling for the A control, instead of playing the contact, you still want it to jump, pop, flash, to just push that line away in case Heat was there. I think that will be one of the biggest threats as well, looking at KRU on the defensive side of the forward positions that Heat will take once he has the operator in his hands. And they have to be ready to take it down. They have no knives to really stall. They have maybe the drone or recon dart, something, but that's early utility that's going to be wasted out. So just the threat of Heat alone in some positions could really dwindle down the utility available for SEN overall when it comes down to the site hit. So keeping Jonah P and also keeping Jonah P and also Redux alive will be super important for the mid rounds for Sentinels.
As we hit the timeout for KRU. Really, Zonic hasn't had to do much of that as we see the Heat record.
A fun one, because we're talking about all his losses since 2024. And that was, what, Champs when he played against Fnatic. And we're not putting any win columns in there because he hasn't won anything since then.
Yeah.
So under 2 different organizations since 2024 and playing so many different roles, from Duelist to Initiator to Senti to back to Duelist and now Senti, he still hasn't won a game. This will be room to breathe and confidence, not just for KRU to get 1 series this stage, but most importantly for Heat to get a dub since 2024.
Yeah.
Moving into the play-ins.
Absolutely.
And with SEN now converting a bonus round and starting to close that gap on the attack side, when we talked about the pressure on the side of Sentinels, hopefully it's not going to start lingering behind Heat as well if Sentinels is able to come back.
And what's their play here? Into round 16, just 3 away from tying us up here in map 3. Both teams have traded their maps to get here and thinking they were stronger on both Summit and Sunset. There's a pickup for John Cutie. Reckoning is going to be 1 away here, and that possibility of the ult is sitting on his back in spike form. Push up already from KRU, though. You can see the movement as they've educated themselves on what's happening around the map.
Yeah, it's a good call by Sadak. Right now, Sentinels are going to play it slow because they know that KRU are going to be on a lower buy, so you go for a slow default, get orb control, try to maximize the orbs. You're picking it up for John Cutie, and you're thinking here, because there's no second pivot for the side of Sentinels, that they're probably going to try to get the orb on the B side. Yet, because probably Dante in the push here from Les sees nothing on the B side, KRU is able to rotate back on the A line and still have 3 players to hold the A site.
A 1-minute timer for this hit. And KRU is ready. Almost a 3rd bandit kill there. Huge damage from MW0 already for the team to come in and clean up. Great spot by Jonah P and that sliver.
Huge. And because Cortezia during that time was able to insert himself into the B site. Thankfully, with MW0 dropping down 2 players of Sentinels on the exec, that John Cutie has not committed with the rest of his team, is able to stay alive with the spike and now leverage the Reckoning in the post plant, especially when John Cutie and both John Cutie and Jonah P are low on HP.
This is terrifying too. Dante with a stinger, so you know he's going to be even more aggressive to get in your face. Reckoning comes out. Pressure cooker for the clock. 10 seconds left here as they're about to blow the lid off of this one and then push in. Oh, both are preparing, and Jonah P more than ready as Les takes him down.
It's Les, though.
He's trying to gain a bit of space here. They know exactly where he's coming from, so this makes it even crazier if he's just able to hit the shots and make it work. First one's going to be through the smoke, and the second one on John QT. You have to be kidding. Against all odds, Les comes out on top.
Missing communication again for Sentinels, but I mean, to all respect, Cortezia has been very good in the clutches. So at this time, you're only having to do a 1-versus-1 battle. He's on the top of the scoreboard as well at 16 and now 10 after losing that duel against Les. Had the snake bite out of his feet, but unfortunately couldn't capitalize on the kill. And John Cutie was just a little bit too late to go for the trade. And now KRU is the first team to hit double digits in this third map. And Heat standing up to thank his teammate because he's also getting closer to his first dub since 2024.
He feels it. He's like, can this be real? So what can Sentinels do? Really, at this point, all eyes on Sentinels and what they're doing to attack. Cortezia is always going to be your lurker here, but they're going to put everybody in a death ball to go in past this drone and follow Jerwin in. The double duelist comp needs to take space. It needs to create the kills, and they have a great flash to take down Les and start. The walls.
Map control as well.
About to go down. More walls put back up just so you can reposition in the fight, and they have to get to the spike. Sentinels only leaving Jerwin in as they play very far away post plant here with the Hunter's Fury.
Cortezia is playing the lineup. They have shock darts. Yeah, everything's looking really good here for Sentinels to get the 7th round.
Dante, wait. Source is Jerwin. That's, and they're gonna just combine it without it even being diffused right now. So wait, they should be able to start to get it diffused. Sadok's gonna get right on it. And they push all the Sentinels out of the A main. You have to be kidding me. It's still being diffused and Cortezia can't get the angle on it. KRU are making Sen look silly.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at the lineup from Cortezia with the snake bite. That should have been a shock dart that follows up with it first and then go into the Hunter's Fury.
But it was instant. No way.
Oh, that's no timeout remaining, remember, for the side of Sentinels, so that is going to sting. A round stolen away here, because look at the econ of what KRU has despite them winning the round. They got nothing to work with. That was such a huge, important round for Sentinels to start stringing some rounds back in their favor, but now KRU has a chance.
Again, how does MWZ get another wall? Okay, Les is there for it, but that's the teamwork. They shouldn't be getting any of these here. Jerwin able to come back with one of the kills and clean up mid for a moment, but Sen have already suffered on this, and they're going to be facing Jerwin sliding in. Sadok's flashes, those stingers are still there to cause the chaos. That's crazy, Vans. Sen came off 100 Thieves in G2. Some of the hardest matches that you can take away things to really come out strong in your last match against the team that hasn't gotten to win all split, right? Yep. But that's just not the way the game's going.
And still got the dub against Cloud9 and Loud, who's been looking good towards the end of the season.
Heat with 1 kill. Here comes Dante. Not even hesitating, just looking for more hunting, sniffing out the rest of the members here of Sentinels to get the defuse on and put that game point pressure right in their face. Jerwin and John Cutie giving them a little bit of breathing room though, and they might have bought a bit more time here. The 1v1 and no time to defuse. And Sentinels down to John Cutie, but they are able to keep KRU off of game point for another round.
A 1 versus 2 there, but it had to become a very quick trade out from John Cutie to save that round here for Sentinels. Closing that gap by 4, but the openers that you had from KRU, talked about a lower buy that you had for the side of KRU Visa, yet somehow it's still 2 pistols that opens up the round on the defense.
My God, I can't swim, sorry. My heart's gonna jump.
Oh, no. Yeah, the vibes has quickly changed from being very happy at the start of this map into the, oh my God. The reality is sitting in that KRU could upset us right now, so it's time to lock in.
You need all your energy to go into the plays right now, not to stand up. Keep it focused and keep firing. Already at B, Sentinels feel a little bit of KRU's defense, but that's just to figure out who's there. And out in the open, standing there with the operator as Heat, always ready for a shot.
They couldn't identify where the op was going to be in the first place, and when Redux is trying to watch it passively, you don't really know if he's posted into A main or if he's going to walk through the mid double doors, and it's the mid double doors play that drops a huge piece of utility for the site hit. Thankfully, though, the Viper Wall is out there on the attack side, which allows for them to want to re-hit in the site if they want to slice up the map a little bit. But they're utilizing that wall to just fully rotate back towards this B site. Even if Les has his pit available, he's not trying to drop it down. He's going to have to play it a little bit more soft in that B site to just contain the arches. If not, this man right here could do some serious damage again.
Left.
It's got to be that timing. They have to clear elbow a little bit. Could have been a timing there for KRU to get in defensively. Unless shuts him down with the drone coming out. Takes the drone and the player. That's not the way it's supposed to happen. Redux, the first in. They're not going to find any kills on these. It's one of the boons KRU has had is they don't die during the site take because they're allowing the site to be taken and then squashing Sentinels. Before they even get there, Sadak gets a kill. They start to just chip away at Jonah P on the plant. Game point is very much in the eyes of KRU, and they lock it in on time as Redux just tries to do a bit more damage in the round. What pressure from KRU here to just keep Sentinels always guessing and never in the right spot.
And look at the amount of util that was still available to deny that plan, not only through the Hunter's Fury, but shock darts, mollies. And Cortezio is trying his darnest to try to find an opening, to try to shut down Les. But just a sliver peek from Les baits out the shots and allows the two players to rotate up to take him down. How does Les stay alive in there and still provide value for the rotate? On this side of KRU is insane to me. But now it is map and series point for KRU to get their first dub in Stage 2 and to shake up the rankings of Omega to allow Lau to secure the top 2 seed with 100 Thieves. As Sentinels are looking for the site exec into the B site.
Really nice protocol here. Already we see some mollies being lobbed over there from Cortezia. Reckoning pushes the team back. I mean, you got to expect KRU to be in the same position, just playing defensively, letting that site be taken before they can get in. They've traded 1 for 1 already as the null command continues to ring out. Dante starts to fight back. Oh, he goes for the fake, and then he just steps on Jerwin. That's disgusting. They get Sadak back up. The brain is back in the game, and now all they have to do is surround this pit and cut Sentinels down. Dante opening the site. The rest of the team now opening back in with MW0's dart. That's the first kill. An ace for Dante here, possibly to shut the lights out on Sentinels, and it's MW0 as KRU take down Sen City.